What up, though? It's the word. You see the title. We will talk about it. But before we get into it, do me a favor, hit that like. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe. It's free to you, but it means a lot to me. All right, flipping that switch, right? Um, Going from survival mode to living mode. A lot of us, a lot of people indoctrinated into not living life, but just surviving, making it through the day, doing whatever they have to do to make it through the day. You know, a lot of us don't plan for the future. We don't even think about the generations that come after us. We stuck in that mode, that survival mode. What up, sis? A lot of us stuck in that survival mode. And it looked different for different people, right? But ultimately, it's you not focusing on the future. You just trying to get through the day. Um, and when that happens, a lot of people they just simply start accepting things. You know, accepting things like mediocre jobs, minimum wage, low education. They don't believe that they can achieve greater things. And they settle. And they get stuck in that mode day in and day out. Kind of like is a form of post-traumatic slavery. But then some of us, we break those chains and we flip that switch and we go into living mode and we begin to understand that we got to educate ourselves, not just for ourselves, but for the future, for our kids. We have to educate our kids. We have to build wealth for the next generation so they won't have to go through what we went through. So we begin to learn things like financial literacy. Most people don't know how a dollar works. What up, Juju? What up, Nate? A lot of people don't even know how money works. You know, um, and like I said, you get complacent and you start settling for things. You start settling for the way the education system is. You start settling for the way the government is. You start settling for the way your neighborhood is, the environment. And instead of trying to make something better, you just settle and you survive. You think about how I'm gonna pay the rent this month. I'm gonna pay this bill. How I'm gonna pay that bill. And every now and then you take a vacation and you go out that setting, out that environment, and you see other people living life. Sometimes, I know people who ain't been out their hood, but this is a condition that a lot of people are in and don't even and not even aware of it. They think this is the way of life, and it's not. We like to think our paradise comes when we die. That's not true. I mean, let's be honest. No one can prove that. No one. It's never been proven. People have died and came back and said they seen white pearly gates and this and that. I did it myself. I stopped breathing when I was 3. I drowned. When I was 22 and I got stabbed, stopped breathing for a minute. Did I see a white light? Yeah. But ultimately, what I'm telling you is no definitive proof that, we get paradise after this. But it is proof through observation that everyone can do that people are living in heaven on earth. And it's not all about the money, the materials, the mansion, the car. It's not all about that. It's just they live in their life. They live in their truth. They live in their happiness. Success to me is different from other people. I don't look at having a lot of money as success. I look at success as having my family, you know, having my kids. I have one. I have a mother of my children. You know, I'm married. You know, I wanted a family. I wanted to be comfortable. You know, I ain't got no big house with no white picket fence. I got a roof over my head. We don't need for nothing, and we don't want for nothing. So when I say we comfortable, we truly are. I'm blessed. I didn't think I can even have this, and I know I'm getting, and I got more coming. You know, there's more coming my way. But when I was in the hood, what up, Liz B? What up, James? Appreciate y'all coming through. You know, but when I was in the hood, it wasn't like this. It was just me trying to survive. I was thinking about making it to the next day, and what that looked like. Sometimes, for me to do that, I had to do things. You know, I had to allow things that now that I'm not in that mode, um, I have remorse for. I have regret. I got over that, you know, understanding that was the situation I was in. But initially, I had those feelings because when you're in survival mode, sometimes you to preserve your life, um, you might have to, you know, it might cost somebody else theirs, and that's just facts. You know, we all heard stories or even experienced, you know, people throwing people under the bus or people setting people up. You know, the things you will do to survive. Sometimes it is a cost to it. You know, I'm gonna say it like that. Things you would do to survive, and I think that's a lot why you know people don't trust people no more. You know, I think that has a lot to do with it. Sleazy in the building. What up, Sleazy? I think that has a lot to do with it. That you get in that mode of surviving is me or you. You know, and if you living like that, it's hard to trust other people because you got in the back of your mind, I'm gonna get you before you get me. But when you living, you look at people as assets. You don't look at them as pawn pieces. You know, people say, you know, some play chess, some play checkers. But when you living, you don't look at people as pieces on the board. You look at people as assets. What can I offer this person? And what can they offer me? How can we build together? Different mindset. People you don't even think as people as disposable. But when you surviving, you do. You look at people like, what can I get out of you? What can you do for me? It's no we. But when you living, you understand it a little different. You look at things different. Different mindset. It's kind of like having an ace in the hole, right? You know, people become more assets. They don't become uh, disposable. Even the type of risk you take, you know, when you surviving, you'll take bigger risk because you just thinking about today. So it's more of an instant gratification. You ain't playing a long game. You know, we was talking about life insurance policies yesterday. When you in survival mode, you ain't thinking about no life insurance policy. You thinking about getting what you can while you're here. And when you ain't here, you ain't got no more worries, right? But when you in living mode, you thinking about decades from now, setting yourself up for retirement, setting your kids up for when you're not here, so they won't have to go through none of the hardship you went through. Even though they go through their own hardship, no matter what you do, they will learn their own lessons in life. But ultimately, my goal is to not allow them to go through what I did, to even have those experiences. When I was in survival mode, I wasn't even thinking about kids. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm like, I ain't bringing no kids in this world. It's ugly, and this world is ugly. But guess what? It's beautiful too. I done been places around this world. I done met people from all over the world. It's everything has a good and a bad to it. But when you're in that survival mode, a lot of times you're only looking at the negative things. But when you live in, you get to embrace all the beautiful things, the beautiful people. Just like slow mo in the chat. My bad, James. I got to fix that. I was playing with it. I thought I was doing something big. I was learning something new. And it's probably good because now my one little eye can catch everything. It's good for me. But yeah, now you know now that I'm living, I look at things totally different. Like I hear people say, you can't come on this app and build relationships. I don't believe that. I really don't. You know, I was never allowed to use the word can't. I was never allowed to make excuses. So understanding something that's not being done, that just tells me it's just someone ain't do it yet. Survival mode. Not only the interactions with people, but the way you interact with environments. Like I said, it's when you're in survival mode, you're thinking about today. You'll think about tomorrow when they get here, but right now I'm just thinking about today. So you might be put in a better environment, and instead of embracing that, what happens is you look at what you can get out of it. How can you take advantage of it instead of how can you contribute to it? And when I first moved out the hood, I did that. I never took nothing. I've never been a thief. Like I took something from somebody. But when I first moved in the burbs, I'm looking at the people like they marks, they easy. I can manipulate them, get them to do this for me. How can they? What use do they have to me? I wasn't looking at it like how can I? I had an old lady next to me, and I figured like shit, I can get some money out of her if I cut her grass over her snow or whatever. I can get some money out of her. She ain't got no family. She need help. And one day I was cutting my grass. I went and cut her grass, and she tried to pay me. And I looked at her. I was like, "Nah, it's all right." So I started cutting her grass for free. And every now and then she'd bring me over some cookies or some brownies or some baked goods or whatever. And she said, "I ain't got a lot of money, but at least I can do this for you." And I had a self-propelled mower, so it wasn't no big deal. It was a workout to me, and it was me doing something good. And that's when I started understanding living. You know, doing good deeds. You shouldn't seek a reward in life for doing the right thing. You shouldn't. You know, and that's what I learned. Just helping people. Uh, the reward is the good feeling you receive. It was like a spiritual boost. It was feeding my soul. And then I noticed like just in the cul-de-sac I stayed in, people just helping people, not looking for nothing. It's just good people, all different races, all different beliefs. People just helping one another. And when you do that, when you help people, a lot of times uh, when that come back, it's not even the person that you help. Sometimes it's an unexpected family member or a complete stranger, but it's the energy you put out, the intention, the thought, the emotion behind the action of what you did, what dictates what comes back to you. Because you can do something that looks nice for a person, but have bad intentions behind it, and that's what you go get back. Because initially, like I was saying, I was thinking like, if I do this, I can get this from her, I can get that from her. Yes, but sometimes helping people who aren't appreciated or grateful will mentally change your mind about doing certain, and that's true, And what you're saying is 100% true. Is helping the ungrateful people, helping the people who not appreciated. And what I've learned to do, two steps. First, it was when I first recognized it. I'm like, well, I'm gonna seek out people who appreciate it. Um, and then I got to a point, uh, like when we was talking about overstanding. Like I said, it's not even what about the person that you're doing the action for. It's still always will be about your intentions of why you did it. Even if someone is unappreciative or ungrateful, your intentions was pure. You know, um, and even the compensation of appreciation or gratefulness, um, that's still, in my opinion, you still looking to be compensated, even if it's an emotion or, um, like I said, just an action of showing gratitude. And I got to a point where I stopped expecting things from people. You know, um, I don't put expectations on anybody. In that way, I will never be disappointed, and I can just focus on me. I can focus on me doing the right thing. I just have to be. And when people are ungrateful, thank you for the experience. I know I can now utilize my time and energy towards someone else. That like when I help someone and they don't show gratitude or they not appreciative to it, I've just learned. You gave me the opportunity to learn. Now I see another aspect of ungratefulness, another way people display ungratefulness. You just gave me that. Appreciate it. Note it. I know I can't help people like you, and I can't help people like you, but I'm not going to allow it to not, I'm not going to allow our interactions to change my heart and stop helping people or even be leery or be cautious of helping people. I just know I can't help everybody. It's certain type of people now that I know, like right now, and I had those experiences a lot, Juju, helping ungrateful people. So I got a lot of experience of understanding um, who I should help and who I shouldn't. By helping the wrong people, I understood who the right people were. So I would say don't shy away. You know, even if the people are ungrateful, just take note. You know, because those characteristics that person is showing, others will have it too. But yeah, that was 100% um, interactions with people who don't show gratitude, uh, who take advantage of you. That will shut you down because it shut me down for a while. I'm talking about a while. Even after I knew everything that we talk about, I still shut down because I didn't like that feeling that it gave me helping people who didn't want to be helped. It's people today in my life that's really close to me that I try to talk to and help, but right now they just not hearing me. They're not listening to me. Um, so I can't do anything about it, and I'm at peace with it, you know. just right now, um, where they at in their life, I just understand that they're unreachable, and I have to be at peace with that. I can't bang my head trying to force because I'll push them further away. But even to a complete stranger, um, I mean, even with some of these discussions about the situations and everything going on, honestly, I want to help the world. I do. I want to change the way people think. I want to change people's heart. I know I can't though, and I don't like using that word. Can't. But it's impossible for me to help people who don't even know they need help. It's impossible for me to help people who not looking for help. It's impossible for me to help people who don't want help, who don't think nothing's wrong. It's impossible. So only thing I can do is try to put my words out, and hopefully it touched the right hearts. And that's what I do. You know, um, like I said, even this app, learning how this app is and how the algorithm works, it works against things like this. This is not what this app wants. It don't want people coming together, bonding, building with one another. It won't promote stuff like this. It'll promote um, destruction of one another. I like I said before, I think black people attacking black people has become a form of entertainment. That's what it promotes. So I know I can't. And like I said, that's not my objective. Is to help or save the world or change. That's not my objective. Is to change one heart if I can. If I can just help one person, then I'm good. That's one less person um, who might take their own life. One less person who um, might hurt somebody else because they hurting. Wasting time to help people who's ungrateful. Time wasted that you can't get back. Exactly. And see, that's what I had to learn. And that's why I say it's like I know I can't. I can't help everybody now. Even the people close to you. And that hurts sometimes when you watching them suffer, and you can help them, but like I said, they just ain't listening. And then you start thinking back to yourself, like how many people tried to help me, um, and I just wasn't listening at that time. I wasn't ready. You know, this is like a drug addict. They say they'll never get clean until they're ready. Um, yeah, you can only change yourself. You can only but think about that. That's like Michael Jackson. If you really listen to his music, that dude was so deep, man. Um, he said, the man in the mirror, be the change you want to see. If every individual person just went out and treated people like they want to be treated, you know how peaceful this world would be? Because I'm pretty sure everybody want to be treated good. Everybody desire that. Just those good feelings, those fuzzy feelings. Um, so if we all just went out and did that, 22 will call me a tree hugger, and I do hug trees. You know, I believe the essence of God is within everything. So even within nature, I appreciate all nature, plants, animals. Um, so yeah, I'm a tree hugger. Realist, what up, bro? I'm telling you, hey Juju, like people don't understand. Like when you tapped into that frequency, um, you can feel it. I can feel it. like back in the day, when my grandma was growing flowers, she used to always talk to them. She said if you talk to them and give them some love, they grow. They grow bigger and stronger. And that's true. Believe it or not, plants are alive. I'm not going to say they have the emotional spectrum that we have, but they're alive. So anything that's alive can receive love, can receive kindness. And that's why even the ancient Kemet was so in tune with nature. Um, they understood that the frequency of love can pass through any living substance. So they was totally in tune with that. It's us that um, that's crazy, ain't it? How they had how we look back to the past to find answers for the present. You know, we go back as far as ancient Kemet, ancient Egypt to look for answers for the problems or situations we have today. But we don't look for the method that they use to solve the problems. Um, that's what we don't do enough. And that's simple observation. And if you observe in your life right now, which mode are you in? Are you in that survival mode where you just thinking about doing whatever you got to do to make it through the day, or are you in that living mode where you thinking about the future? Are you thinking about the generations to come? Mm. Like, what mode are you in? And don't get me wrong, it's a switch. There's a reason we have that survival mode. Because you need it. At times, you might need it. You know, um, if you lose your job and your income, your money look funny. You got to survive until you get that next job. If a situation happen where you got to preserve your life, you got to flip that switch to survive. So survival mode is necessary. But what I'm telling you is that you're not supposed to live in it. It's not supposed to be every day. It's not supposed to be a way of life. You just surviving. You accept and paradise comes after you die. The paradise that you were promised is right here, right now. You only get one life. And when you die, you don't there's no we are in flesh right now. You know. Our flesh, when we die, our flesh die. Your consciousness, your soul, that goes back to the creator. And that's not human. That's not human. That's a part of the creator that returns. So it's no heaven as what they told us. It's not like that. It's not. Unfortunately, it's not a place where we all gather in our physical form and reunite with our loved ones. That's not that. That's right here, right now. That's why I tell people take every second, not every minute, take every second of the day and enjoy it with the people you love. Um, don't get too caught up in all this other stuff. Don't even if you got to work. You the breadwinner. Don't forget to spend time with your family. Don't forget that. Don't forget the reason why you out there working, busting your butt to make a better life for your family. Don't forget to enjoy them while you're here. And like I was saying, the risk people take when you're in survival mode, you're thinking about today, but those big risks you take can take you away. So if you're out there trying to provide for your family and you hustling, you got to be smart with it. And that's not me promoting or encouraging that lifestyle, but it is just factual. Some people, that's how they get out of the situation. You know, um, but it's the risk. I would never risk my freedom or my life for money. I'll never do it. There's no purpose. That's too big of a risk to take. But when you're in survival mode, what 50 said, get rich or die trying. People took that the wrong way. It's predicated. What up, Uncle L? Predicated on what mode you in. When you hear get rich or die trying, you'll have people ready to crash out for a bag. You're not understanding, like, when that bag is gone, you got to go do it again and do it again and do it again. Now you're a stick up boy. You're risking your life and your freedom to take from other people. That's what you're doing. You're risking your life and your freedom to take from someone else. Instead of asking that brother or that sister you robbing, how did you make this? How did you get this? One of my mentors told me when he was getting robbed, he told me that he told the young man, like, look, you can take this from me, or I can teach you how I got it. And the man put the gun down. And he still got a relationship with that dude. And when he told me that, I'm sitting right next to the dude who tried to rob him. This guy tried to rob him, and he gave him an option. I give you my wallet, no problem, because I can get it back, no problem. Or you can put the gun down, or I teach you how to make this. He flipped the switch for him, and this is why I don't judge people or throw people away, because I've been at the bottom, so I understand. I understand it all too well, you know. And I'm not saying everybody, but I'm telling you, some people, that's the only thing they know. But some people, if you show them a different way, give them an option, give them an opportunity, they will change. They're only doing what they know. So this is why I don't throw people away and I don't judge people. I don't. And sometimes it's having conversations, and when people, I don't like when people stereotype. I don't like when people stereotype black people. I especially don't like when they stereotype black women. And they bunch them all up. Well, this is black. No, it's not. It's not. It's not. It's not. It's a small sample size you're looking at. Um, that's just a small sample size. So even when people talk about like gangs and stuff, like I said, I don't approve of the gang life or nothing like that. But it's easy for me to sit where I'm sitting at and judge people. It's easy for me to do that. But what am I doing to solve that problem that I see? This is just my perspective and the way I look at stuff. And that's why I'm just sharing it with y'all. So even if you judge people, I'm not talking nothing bad about you. I'm just telling you why I don't do it. Because sometimes it's necessary. So I'm lying, I guess, then. Because, like, if you touch a kid, I'm judging you. You're a piece of shit. If you beat on women, you're a piece of shit. So I lied. I do judge. Apologies for lying. But circumstances, I will say, certain things, I just think you're a piece of shit. If you do certain things, that's just my opinion. If you feel like the need to put your hands on a female, you're just a piece of shit to me. If you abuse a kid in any type of way, you're a piece of shit to me. That's weakness to me. Those people I jump out the window on. But anybody else, I think they can be helped. Anybody else, I think they can be helped. But even that, like I said, risk taking. Your risk, the way you take risks is different from when you went living in survival mode. Um, like the risk I take now, I take financial risk all the time. Like I said, I'm not risking my life. I risk some money though. Like if you buying an investment property, that's a risk. If you putting your money into a stock, that's a risk. I take those type of risks now. Um, I don't take the ones with my life, going to the wrong places, being around the wrong people. I don't risk that no more. I'd rather risk something that I can get right back, and that's money. Can't get my life back, so I ain't risking that. But money, nah, I'm good with that. I can risk that all day. And then even interacting with people, um, I don't think no one is disposable. I don't look at people as being disposable. I used to. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Like when I was survival mode, you kept certain people around just in case. I'm just being real. It's assholish and it's wrong, but I'm telling you, if you live in that life, sometimes you'll have people around you to take those certain falls. You know, you had to keep those people around. You know, and that's I'm just being real. I mean, we see it in corporate. We see it. We see it in entertainment. They always got a fall guy. You know, it ain't no different from the street. You keep a couple of them people around. Something happen, then for me to stay free, this person got to go. That's just the way it is. It's like that in corporate America. So even in business, there's a difference. Like to be successful in business, you got to think street. Some of the same tactics people use in the street, the white collar criminals do it too. They be in survival mode. People become not assets, but pawn pieces, disposable. Something happened. We need somebody to take the heat. That's you. They put people in positions to take the heat. They'll bump somebody who they feel disposable up to a management position because they know it's about to come down and they can blame it on this person. I've been in rooms where they talked about that. I told a story about how they wanted me to backstab these dudes. Cat Daddy, what's up? How they wanted me to stab this dude in the back, on a real estate deal. And I'm like, nah, bro, he got a family and everything. Why we all can eat? That's how I'm thinking because now I'm in living mode. I want everybody to eat. We all can eat. I'm not greedy. But nah, you want to completely cut this dude out. Got him drunk and everything. And the purpose of getting him drunk so he wouldn't make it to the morning meeting. That shit crazy, man. Like they plan that shit. They get this man drunk so he won't make it to the meeting so he won't be attached to the client. Intentionally did that. So Kalani, what up? So like even in business, you know, people are in survival mode. Even in business, people think like that. People become disposable. When we all can be an asset to one another. Like I said, everyone has something to offer. Everyone has something to bring to the table. If it's the personal experience, if it's the wisdom, the knowledge, it can be resources. It can be somebody they know. Everyone has something to offer. We need to start looking at one another as assets instead of um, disposable pieces. I'm gonna drop the link real quick. Well, I just wanted to build that foundation. I'm gonna go to the chat real quick and see what y'all are saying. My bad, I be looking down half of the time. My eyes kind of bothering me today. Oh, always respect, Kalani. Always respect. But that's the whole thing. I just wanted to bring awareness to understanding the difference between surviving and living. And I think the biggest difference is when you survive and you're not thinking about the future. You're thinking about getting through the day. And a lot of times, when you're just thinking about getting through the day, your decision that you make, you ain't thinking about building bridges. You willing to burn a bridge. If it's go protect something or gain something instantly. See, that surviving mode, that's where that instant gratification comes from. You need it now. You ain't willing to plant the seed and allow it to germinate and grow over time to a big plant or tree. No, you want it right now. You need it right now. Um, and that's one of the biggest differences. What up, Kalani?
Hey, what's going on? Thanks for having me. Salute to you. Salute to the chat. Hey, Val. Hey,
Val, what
Juju.
up? Bro, I love me some Juju, bro. I do, man. I love real people. I love real hearted people, and I love intelligent people. So when I get around people like that, and that's why I say when people say you can't build bonds, everything take time. Like I said, I'm in living mode, so I just feel as long as I keep being genuine and show people who I am, and that eventually, it's not even the fact that I try to get people trust or respect or none of that. It's just I like building with people, and over time that'll naturally happen. And I know that. So I don't need it. I don't look for it, you know. Um,
Yeah. You know
Queen, what
what?
up?
Hey, what's up, Quinn? Quinn, BFF, my BFF, my best friend on the planet. Love you, BFF. Hey, but flipping the switch, man, it was work for me. It was work for me. Word. I mean, flipping the switch, going from survival mode to living mode, it came from hard work. And moving up in the company. You know what? First of all, let me just say it's not just hard work. It was hard work at moving up in the company into a managerial situation. Have you ever had that experience where you're the one that's paying people, not just getting paid?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm technically doing that now, but definitely I know what you're talking about. It's
That'll
not
make you
easy.
flip the switch real quick. That'll make you flip the switch real quick because you're getting paid by the same people, but it's your responsibility to pay people. It's like,
But you touched on something where you said it's work, and it is because we've been indoctrinated. We've been put in conditions where we have to use survival mode to live. You know,
no, that's right.
but when you become aware of it, that you do have the option to live, that's when you realize, like, hold on, I could have been doing this the whole time, but I thought this was the way of life. I thought this what life is, just surviving until the creator called your card.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not. This is heaven. It's heaven on earth, and the creator offered it to us. Is on us to realize that we can have our heaven here.
You are so right, man. You are so right, man.
Yeah, it's up to us.
Salute to you, Uncle L. One love to you, Uncle L. Salute to you, James.
I gotta go check. Uncle L be switching the avatars. He be having some dope avatars. I gotta go check that one out. Yeah, I don't. You know what? I'll tell you like this too, Juju. My losses, I don't even take losses. I turned that L into lessons. So even the lessons that I learned, I've been appreciative for the opportunity to get clarity. You know, when things don't go the way I think they gonna go, or things don't go the way I plan them or want them to go, it gives me clarity. I understand what was wrong in my initial thought of the situation or how
Okay.
I approached it. I've learned to gain everything, even from what people call a loss. I'm gonna get something from it. I'm ignorant, man. I swear I am.
Me too.
I'm getting
Me
everything
too.
that's mine. Yeah, and sometimes those lessons and they hard lessons, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but I appreciate the opportunity to learn those lessons because I'm still here breathing. You know, I still got the opportunity to make things right. As long as I got that, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take every opportunity. I'm gonna take every event. You know what I learned about opportunities?
Mhm.
You don't lose opportunities; somebody else take them.
Hey, hey,
That
hey,
was,
that's a good one. That's a good one. Hey, you know what? The
bro.
40th law, it made me grab the book. Let me go ahead and show the people. Let me go ahead and cam up real quick. Got to show y'all this book. Hold on. Let me show y'all this book. I got to cam up. So check this out, man. You know this book, right? You know this
I,
book.
oh, too well, I know that book.
Yeah, this book, I beat up. This book is beaten up, y'all. But anyway, check it out. The 40th law of power. Despise the free lunch.
Yeah,
Despise the free lunch, y'all. What is
and see,
offered for free is dangerous. Hey, it starts off, it says, what is offered for free is dangerous. It usually involves either a trick or a hidden obligation. What has worth is worth paying for. By paying your own way, you stay clear of gratitude, guilt, and deceit. It is also often wise to pay the full price. There's no cutting corners with excellence. Be lavish with your money and keep it circulating, for generosity is a sign and a magnet for power.
and you know what? That book. This is what I encourage people to do when they read books. Take those lessons and add to them. You know, put your own twist on 'em. That's what everybody has done throughout time. You know, even the author of that book, you could say a lot of that came from the Art of War.
Yeah.
You know, he just put his spin to it and turned it to 48 Laws of Power.
Hey,
So,
that's a
with,
very good way to put it. That's a great analogy because I think Robert Greene really did get a lot of things from Sun Tzu. I agree.
oh, he did. A lot of those principles came from the Art of War.
Facts,
And like I
facts.
said, he put his own understanding to it, and that's what we should all do. That's what I do. I done studied so many different philosophies, so many different ideologies, and I take what's useful to me and I apply it to my life. And when I do that, I get a deeper understanding of it. You know what I'm saying? And then I come back and simplify it and share it with people. You know, I even had a young guy, his mom. They emailed me. You know, they listened to my show. That's kind of dope, man. But yeah, so this lady, she listens to the show and got her son listening to it. And I made a video about cause and effect. And he gave me, this boy is 12 years old, and what they wrote me in the email, his understanding of energy output, he put a whole twist to what I was saying. And I'm like, that's what you're supposed to do. You know, we can't govern ourselves with other people's perspective, but what we can do is use their perspective um, and we got to make it useful to us. You know,
That was a good point. That was a good point, Val. Despise the free lunch, make folks get up off their behinds.
and I would tell you, and that's why you always hear me say, I go out and take what's mine. I don't accept anything. I go get what's mine, and that's that principle. You know, I don't need a charity. I don't need a hand me out because I'm gonna go get what's mine, what's for me. You know, I'm not gonna wait for somebody to determine my value. I'm gonna go show you my value. You know, that's me not taking the free lunch. That's me not taking a hand me out because you'll get complacent.
And that's how you get a raise. And that's how you get a raise.
I don't even think about a raise. I think about, like I said, even like when I was working at the hospital, you know, the accomplishments that I had, the pat on the backs that I got, the notoriety that I got, it still wasn't a reflection of the value I brought to the company. They can never pay me what I'm worth. No one can. No man can ever pay me my value. You know, only person who can pay me is me. And when I realized that, I stopped allowing people to tell me what I'm worth hourly. And I went and found skills. I went and found opportunities within real estate, within life insurance, to show. You know, making 50 G's in 3 months. I don't know how many. Some people don't make 50 G's in a year. I did it in 3 months easily.
Man, you better go head on. Hold on. Hey, man, do me a favor. Hold it down. I'll be right back. I just got to take this call real quick. I'm right here, though.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, brother. And see, that's another thing, too. When you're in survival mode, you'll take things that's given to you, you know, because it's needed at that time. You don't, like I said, it's more about the short game. It ain't about the long game, you know. When you're in living mode, you thinking longevity. You know, what investment can I make today that 10 years from now will bloom? Like Jay-Z said in that 999 or 444, he said when he was talking about buying a painting for $2 million, and a couple years later it was 4 or 5 million. You know, we don't think about that. We're thinking about instant gratification, and that's a trick. I'm telling y'all, it's a trick. All this we were conditioned to think like this, to think about today and not tomorrow for a reason. While all these other races are building themselves up for the next generation to take over, we don't do that. We don't put the next generation in the position of power. It's 48 Laws of Power is good. Is a good starting point. Well, like I said, even that book is I think some of that book has survival mode ideologies in it. You know, just surviving. But it's good. It's a good book to build a foundation off of. The Art of War is another good book in understanding, but a lot of those books are predicated upon interactions with people who might be unfavorable to interact with in the first place, if that makes sense. Like, so a lot of those principles apply to dealing with people on a level of competition, not complimenting. There's not a lot of complimentary ideologies in either of the books. So, but like I said, I think it's a book everyone should read because you're gonna have to compete. You know, life is a competition.
It really
You know,
is.
Uh,
It really is. It really is a competition, but it's a good one. It could be a good competition. You know what I mean? Like when you're at work and you're competing for the position, or something like that. That's good competition.
it's healthy competition if you're aware of that. Um, my bad. Hold it down 1 second. I gotta blow my nose.
Hey, what's going on, Nest Vlog? Thank you to the chat, man. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button, man. And if you have any kind of thoughts that you like to add to the conversation, come on up here. Definitely appreciate everybody in the building, man. Y'all hit that like button, share the word, share his show, sub up. You guys are amazing as usual. The chat is lit.
Bro, I'm
Salute to
telling
you,
you, man.
Net. Salute Net Vlog.
Nets, what up, sis? Appreciate you. I got a man, Nets. I have I don't think Sis Rosa went live that day. It didn't pop up on my phone. But I'll be waiting to see what she cooking. But I do, man. I love Filipino food. I love
Me too,
Asian
man.
food. I
Yeah.
love to see how different cultures cook food.
Mhm.
Especially with the seasonings. I'll be going to the Asian market, grabbing some of the seasonings. Once I see it on their live, like, oh yeah, I got to try that.
That's
And
nice.
that's what I'm saying. Experiencing different things, like that's living, man.
Yeah.
Interacting with different cultures, that's living. Um,
I noticed that when I log in the Nets page and she cooking, doing her thing, man. I mean, you're always working. You're always working. You're always moving. You're always doing something. I love that, Nets. You notice that too? Word. She always doing something.
yeah, I noticed that, bro. Hey, I'm gonna switch over to my phone real quick. My
No
son woke
problem.
up. I'm gonna put him back to sleep. So hold it down for 1 second for me, bro.
Hmm. Juju, that was a very, very good comment. You said, uh, I don't wait for somebody to give me something. I go get it. That's deep. That's what's up. Where I come from, the Bay Area, you know what I'm saying? That's pretty much a way of life. That's how we do it, Juju. We go and get it, man. Whatever opportunities, we seize them. Seize opportunities. If anybody has any thoughts, the link is in the chat. Come up and add to it. We'd definitely like to hear different people's perspective. Thank y'all for holding it down for the word. Please hit that like button. It's my guy. Salute to you,
Yeah,
James.
yeah, but Juju, that's where I came from. Um, just like growing up with my grandmother. Grandma ain't wait for nobody, like man, no wait for nobody to get stuff done. She made it do what it do.
We can hear you, but it's just a little muffled a little bit.
Okay, can you hear me better now? I probably got to
A
switch
little,
to
yeah, a little bit, a little bit. You was just in the matrix for a quick second.
yeah, I'm had to run something out real quick. But yeah,
No problem.
and then it's like this. Think about this too, like the whole civil rights movement. We asking for people to treat black people as human. You know, instead of forcing them. When we start forcing them, like, look, you go look at us as humans. We start boycotting, showing like we understand the power that we hold. You know, but we not
Mm-hmm.
asking no more. We demanding it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a difference even when you have to interact with people and people do have power. It's still a difference between asking and demanding. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we might like even now we might think we powerless, but we got more power as people. Uh, and I'm not just saying one race. I'm talking about as people. We have more power than what we think. Because, like I said, once we stop spending, if we stop going to work, if we we can shut. Think about it. How you gonna get electricity if everybody who work in that electric plant say, you know what, that's y'all go do this, but we ain't
This
working on
reminds me of that show. This reminds me of that show that you had. What you're saying right now, that show that you want that you had about, and we were talking about the difference between commanding respect and demanding respect. Your presence commands respect, but when you demand respect, it means that your presence doesn't command it.
it. Exactly. Baby, what up? My homie came back through.
What up?
Made me sweet wine. I've been waiting for you to come back through, so appreciate you. Appreciate you. Yeah, but that's the thing, man. Is and I appreciate y'all brothers for breaking that down because um, demand and command is two totally different ideologies, and that added to me. Just that I understood the words, but the way Cat Daddy put that,
Mm-hmm.
it was more powerful. And that's why I appreciate building with people. Because especially older people, people who have experienced things and they look at things different. Because I was using the word demand, and he gave me a
Mm-hmm.
better option. And that's just being humble enough to recognize that.
Hey, James said that word you got on the other device, slow mode is on in the chat again.
Oh, it is. Okay, I gotta figure out how to go in there and do that. When my son go back to sleep, he dozing back off. When he go back to sleep, I hook that up. I fix that. Ain't nobody in the back already. Let me
Mm.
put the link back in the chat.
Hey, man, check this out, Juju. I agree with you. I agree with you, Juju. My kids used to do that. It's like as soon as I get into a nice sound when they were babies, I get into a nice sound sleep, comfortable in the mud.
He always do that. This is my little man. Like I said, I didn't have my father when I was young and home, so I spoiled the crap out of him. And he will not go to sleep without me. He from the day he came out of his mother's womb, he was in my arms.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
People be like, "Well, this." I say, "Look, this is my experience. I only get this one time. Let me alone. Let me be. Let me experience it. My way." I mean, I
Hey, when
understand.
my girls were hella small, man, I felt the same way, man. I was just like, you could just chill. I'll do everything. I
And
go to
Juju,
work, come home, what I'm saying? Like, hey, I got this.
that's straight facts, man. I'm my best friends right now, and I'm learning how to, I'm still learning how to be his father because, like I said, I was abused, when I was younger. So, uh, discipline is a little different. I tap his butt, but he is so like when he know I'm disappointed in him, that hurts him worse. So, um, just showing him like I'm disappointed, and then I even hate doing that because, but even when I raise my voice at him or tap his butt, I always explain to him what he did wrong. That's what my grandmother did for me. Yeah, she used to tear my butt up, had me go get switches from across the creek.
That's old
Yeah,
school because that was me. That was me. My grandmother made me and go get my own switch. I was like, what?
yeah, I had to go get switches. But even after
I
she
had to go
whooped
get
me, she
switches
always
too.
was. But the important part was after, she did discipline. She explained to me exactly what I did wrong and why she had to discipline,
I
and I
would, I
appreciate
would
that every
try to
day.
hear it. I would try to hear it.
That's how I learned. I learned from those experiences. So that's what I do to my son now. Like when I raise my voice at him,
I hate when he say sorry. I'm trying to teach him how to say apologize. I hate when he say sorry because it sounds so. I don't even like the word sorry. I very rarely use it. But yeah, it breaks my heart when he be like, sorry, Baba. Yeah, he don't call me daddy, call me Baba. That's
Hey, I
like
got
dad
on
in
punishment one
Caribbean.
time like that, Juju. I got on punishment one time like that. I was wilding out. I was a kid. I was wilding out, and my granddad put me on a hook on the door, bro.
Um, nah, I tell you, the
Straight
I
up.
remember my mom. I remember my mom took my door. She took my door, and then she took my mattresses. So I had to sleep on the floor for a week, bro. I remember I forgot what I did. I know she took my door off and took my bed mattresses. I was too damn big for her to be hitting. Like when I was 14, 15, I used to laugh at her when she tried to hit me. And then she got that bat that one day. I turned up the stairs. I just felt something go across my back. Like, what the hell was that? I hit the damn stair. I was going upstairs and she cracked me in the back with a bat.
Oh
And I was
man.
going up the stairs. Like, what the hell was that? She's like, oh, you think I can't hurt you? I'm like, oh shit. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I
Hey,
was
you know
probably
what?
about
Have you ever had a whooping that didn't hurt as much as it hurt inside? Like I remember when I was, when we was growing up, I had to be home before the street lights came on. So one day I was wilding out after the street lights went off, right? Man, I'm chilling with my friends, man. My grandmother, man, with her old uh house coat, but one button, one button, all the rest of the buttons is, what I'm saying? Because she had to come look for me. And boy, she came out there, man, with that switch, bro, in front of all my friends and whooped me all the way back to the house. And I was halfway up the street. That it didn't even hurt. Like, but it was, oh, it's embarrassing.
all about that.
The moral
I
of the
think
story is I wasn't late. I was in the house before the street lights came on after that.
you know what, man? Is my mom like my mom? I think she got so tired of whooping me, she ain't really whoop my sisters, but. I got some of the. I used to be. I do some crazy. I used to sit on the garage and take the shingles off and throw them at the
Mhm.
neighbor's house. And one
Oh
day the
yeah.
lady was, girl, look. One day the lady was in the bathroom and she was opening the window as I threw it. The shingle cut right through the screen and hit her right in the forehead. The lady had to get stitches in her forehead. Man, my
Oh
mama she beat Jesus, the devil, she beat everything out of me and it went back in me,
when
bro.
you
I'm
say she
telling
beat
you, bro.
Jesus and the devil out of you, I got you.
Bro, I'm telling you, man. It's like bro, it's like that was a whooping I never forget, bro. But the shingle, man, it went right through. I remember sitting on the garage and just throwing the shingle at the lady house, and she opened it. I didn't even see it. I just threw it. I wasn't even aiming at the window or nothing. But when I threw it,
Mhm.
it just so happened it was hitting the side of the house the whole time, like the upper part. When I threw this one, it went down and went right through the screen and hit the lady in the forehead. And all I see is her looking at me screaming. I'm like, oh shit. I jumped
Wow.
off of the garage and ran in my basement. Man, my mama came down in that basement and grabbed me, and I'm looking at the lady head bleeding and shit. And my mom was
Man.
like, I can't believe you. And she just started, boy, I think she started with like two punches to the rib cage, and then she took the belt and started, man,
I had this big
yeah.
problem. I had this big problem with throwing eggs at cars. I mean, I don't know why. I used to go on the bridge with eggs. I go take my little allowance, go buy some eggs just so I could throw them at cars on the highway. I don't know why I did it, but man, my mama beat the brakes off me so much. Man, the neighbors called the police. You ever had that happen?
Oh no, neighbors where I grew up, they ain't
The
called no
neighbors
popo.
called the police on my mama, and she said, that's my son. She said, you ain't did nothing but making work for him.
Bro, I remember this one butt whooping I got, and my granny, my dad's mom, she never whooped kids. Like she never whooped her grandkids. I think I was probably no, I think my cousin got a whooping too. But we used to throw mud at cars going to she's like her house was facing like it wasn't like a highway or a freeway, but it was like a main road where a lot of cars travel.
Hmm.
And it was dark, and my cousins was throwing mud pies at the car. So we throw them at the side of the car. Well, my one cousin put a rock in one of them and gave it to me.
What?
And when I threw it, yeah, when I threw it, it hit the windshield. So only thing you heard the windshield like, and I looked like, oh shit, ran in the house and ran under. I ran right past my grandma. She was like, "Where's you going?" And then the guy pulled into the driveway and told her, man, she grabbed me from under that bed and whooped me.
Mm-mm-mm.
And I was so embarrassed. It didn't even hurt. It was just I
Yeah,
was embarrassed
I can
because
relate. I can relate. I can relate to that.
his grandma never whooped nobody. Like she never
Right,
whooped anybody. She never
right.
whooped none of them. So I'm the only one. So I'm like, I was so mad. Like and there wasn't no point. Like she didn't want to hear nothing. It didn't even
Nothing.
matter that my cousin put the rock in there intentionally. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Gave it to me.
Uh-huh.
We shouldn't have been doing it. So it was like that's why I said I couldn't. There was no reason for excuse. Well, yeah, like grandma gave me one of them old church whoopings. Like,
Ha! I like that one, old church whooping.
yeah, it's like the whoopings you get in church. I don't know,
Oh
cause
man!
my mom.
First of all, I used to mess up in church every Sunday. Like I don't know, I just couldn't sit still. That was my problem, anxiety, whatever you call it. But I just couldn't sit like through the whole thing because in my church when I was growing up, we had to stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Yeah,
man, I want to go run around and play. Got that old church whooping when I got home. No, from being too loud,
see,
smacking my gum too loud.
now see, my mom's mom, she was a total different beast. She didn't care where you was at. I remember one day I asked her for a peppermint when we was in church, right?
Mhm.
And she was like, "I'll give it to you later." And I think we started praying. They said bow your head, so we started praying. And so when she bowed her head, I went in her purse. Next thing I know, I was in the other row. Man, she slapped me so goddamn hard, I
Oh my
flipped over the
goodness.
seat, bro. Like, I mean, you heard it. Like the preacher stopped praying, bro. Like he
Wow.
probably thought God came down there. The way it was like it, bro. And then it'd be the sound travels. So, bro, it was like the echo had like three phases. It's like, yeah, I went over the damn thing, bro.
Oh man,
Yeah,
that's a
I'm,
trip.
I'm telling you. You
I
see,
can
that's
relate.
like,
I can relate. I used to go to the store, and then it used to work until I got older and they got tired of it. But I want something from the store when I was a kid, and then I throw a tantrum in the store. But then after my family was like, "Hey, don't embarrass me in the store, or you gonna get it." Man, I played them one time, like whatever. And so I asked for something and they proceeded to say no. And then I just started throwing man, beat the brakes off me, bro. Church whooping in the stove.
man, I'm telling you, bro.
I
It
had a
be one of
warning.
them church women be them real quick. Like, oh shit, where that come from? It sound like a
Man.
damn crazy movie. Like them old Batman movies. Wow, pow, pow.
Pow, bang, boom. Exactly.
That's how it be, bro. I'm telling you, man. You see
Kaplow,
a little
kaplow.
You catch one of them that backhand to the face, you see that word "pow" pop up. Like, hold on, bro, I'm in a comic book and
Mhm.
shit. That's how hard you get hit. You start seeing
Yeah,
lights
but
and shit.
that's it.
Colors start
That's it.
changing. Like, hold on, bro, knock me into the damn rainbow. Yeah, man, I was bad, bro, and that's why I look at my son like, oh man, I'm about to catch hell. This is all my karma. The more I think about, like, when you young and doing it, you ain't thinking about, you being bad, but when you get older and you look at it like, damn, bro, I was crazy. I was badass kid, bro. I done did so many fucked up things. So I gotta watch him, bro. 'Cause I know he gonna
Hey,
do some crazy.
you know what's funny is when you look at other kids being bad, that's not yours or you, and you're like, man, if I would have did. I mean, you don't say nothing, but it's like, man, if I would have did that, I would have got smacked. Oh man, I wouldn't even make it out the store if I said that to my mom. I be thinking like that.
Bro, the way these kids talk now, like
Yeah,
even my son, like I wish I would have told my grandma no. I would have been part of the wall, bro. I'm telling you, if I
facts,
ever told my grandmother no, I would have been
facts.
part of the wall. I'd have been the
I'm not
new,
cleaning my. I can only imagine because it ain't never happened. I can only imagine me saying to my mom and dad, "Hey, I'm cool, man. I don't want to do none of that cleaning stuff today, man. I'm good. I'm going outside and going to play basketball. I'm going to chill with my friends, man. I don't care what y'all talking about."
bro. I'm gonna get
I
my
can't
cousin
even
on the show
imagine
one,
saying that.
bro. I'm gonna get my cousin on the show one day, right? Bro, my cousin, like my grandma, like when people get older, the food don't taste the same no more. So her spaghetti used to be like when she got her spaghetti was like shit at first,
Right,
but as she got
right.
older, it became like it wasn't even red no more. The spaghetti was pink and shit. Like she watered it down. I don't know what the hell was happening. But my cousin was like, I ain't eating it and threw it away. My grandma went in the garbage, put the spaghetti back on the plate, told her to eat it. She said no and went upstairs, right? So all you see is grandma walking upstairs. She grabbed a wire hanger off of the hook, and then you
Wow,
just heard these fucking screams, bro. My cousin
wow.
came running down the stairs. Her face was bloody. I'm like, what the hell? My cousin still got that mark across her face. You know how the Joker got his lip cut? Like
Mm-hmm.
with my cousin got that mark across her face to this day. My grandma
Oh,
beat the shit out of her with that hanger, bro. She whooped the dog shit out of her with that. My grandma didn't play, man. She threw her food
I hate
away.
to say it. I hate to say it. I think we touched on it last. We touched on it on one of your lives, but I think we need to get back to a little bit more discipline in this country, man.
And that's touchy too, right? Because of this. Uh, like the more information and I believe in discipline. Like I said, I taught my son, but I am not gonna beat him though.
I'm
I'm
just
not gonna
saying, when we was growing
argue.
up, man, our teachers could swat you and paddle you. The neighborhood could whoop you if your parents wasn't home, and then your parents don't get you when you get home. We kind of need to get back to a little bit of that because it looks like people are not appreciating consequences or even understanding what consequences mean. That's why people are just like wilding out.
I agree with you, but I have to disagree too, and I'm gonna tell you why. I agree with the part where you say consequences. 'Cause that's why people do stuff because there's no consequence. But this is the part I have to disagree because even though I was one of the people who got whooped by the neighbors and the teachers, I I got a mark on my backside from the hole in the paddle from when my principal. I think I was in fourth grade when I got that paddle whooping. I still got the mark, but this is what that none of that stuff. It didn't deter me.
It
I still
deterred the
was
heck
bad
out
as
of me.
hell.
It deterred the heck out of me.
You know what? It used to. You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. The it's two people who had effectively whooped me, and I learned from it, and that was my mother and my grandmother. And I'm gonna tell you why, because they took the time to sit me down and explain why they did what they did. Everybody
Right.
else, no, you just pissed me off. Now I'm about to go do, and that's how I was. And I see it in my son. Like I would tap his butt and he'll look at me and get mad and start grabbing stuff and throwing it. That's how I
Mm,
was. It used to
mm,
piss me off because I
mm.
knew I wasn't big enough to hurt you. So now I'm pissed off, so I'm gonna go fuck something up. And that was my mentality. And I see it in my son. So that's why like I use more of my voice with him. Like if it's something like has to be instant and it's more of a shock. It's not
Mhm.
that I hit him hard, it's more of he wasn't expecting it and I did it fast. It's more of a shock value to him, like, oh shit. Like it's more of a swift action scaring him versus a hard hit. Um, but I noticed like when he say I'm disappointed, that's when he be like, okay, I done did something wrong, you know.
Juju, you know what, Juju, I feel you. I feel you on that. But at the same time, I feel you on that, because of how we grew up a little bit, maybe. But I just feel like these kids, they wilding out. They're wilding out. These kids, young people, they're wilding out. and it's way too much. It's too much to handle, because all we're gonna do now, instead of whooping them and throwing them upside a wall and smashing them in the mouth like when we was growing up, now they give you Adderall and Ritalin and Prozac and stuff like that, as opposed to just snatching you up. They put, we get addicted to these psychotropic drugs now, instead of getting your ass whooped like we used to.
But then
I don't
too,
like that. I
you
don't
got,
like that. Like, well, don't hit your child. Just here, give them some Prozac, or give them some Adderall, or don't whoop them. Just give them this, and it'll calm their behavior. Man, I'm cool. I got snatched up.
and see, I think this too. I mean, if you open that back up to the way it was, like where the neighbors and all these other people abuse kids as it is now.
Or people gonna stay out of trouble, or you're gonna stay out of trouble, or you're not gonna mess up in your neighborhood. It's
No,
either
I don't
it's
think.
either it's either gonna create a bad scene, or it's gonna create a good one. I mean, it's not like always bad to get your ass whooped.
But nah, if somebody look, I'm gonna tell you now. If a kid hit my kid, I'm putting my Timbs on and I'm kicking that kid in the head. So let an adult hit my kid. You go. You go be introduced to Satan. You're not doing it. Ain't nobody putting their hands on my kid. I discipline my own kid. I don't. Nah, man. You open. I'm not. I think you just open yourself up to. You just opening yourself up. I think it was different back then because think about how your neighbor, like how many of your neighbors do you know now? Like how many of your neighbors have came into your home and sat down and had coffee with you?
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you
You
on
see
that.
what
I
I'm
just
saying?
feel like I really, I mean, really, man, if you took a poll, you would find that a lot of people that are older wish that we could get back into more discipline, like disciplining the kids.
And I mean, I see what you're saying. I see
Like
what you're
there ain't
saying
no
about the.
consequences. It's just it's just take the paddle away, take the whoopings away, corporal punishment, and give them some drug pills. And I'm like, that ain't worth it, man.
But I think it's the way. I think we need to redefine because, like I said, ain't nobody touching my kid. I mean, you
Yeah,
ain't
but
doing
what's
it.
up with all that time out? Time out and shit. Like, what the hell? I don't even understand that. You get snatched up in my house. Like, you get snatched up, straight thrown over across the room or something, man.
But see that I'm telling you, a lot of my rage came from that. I'm telling you from personal experience.
Mhm.
Um, like even like when I say my stepfather abused me, I'm not telling you anything he thought I did wrong. He put his
Mhm.
hands on me, you know,
Yeah.
and I didn't know why half of the time.
Well, you
That's what
know
I'm
what? You
saying.
were probably a really cool cat. You know what I'm saying? Me, I was kind of, hard, bad. I was bad. I was bad. You know what I'm saying? Because
But
I was
but what
bad.
I'm telling you too, a lot of those beatings made me angry, made me um, vengeful, made me want to hurt other people because I was being hurt. Just like you know, I had a show "Hurt People Hurt People."
Yeah,
A lot
I
of
used
what
to be
he
not. I
did to
used to
me.
be good, so I wouldn't get a whooping. I used to be good, get straight A's, go to school, do my homework, do my chores, do everything because I ain't want to get no ass whooping.
And see, is a lot of variables involved. That's why we have to have these discussions because, like they say, you can't love all your kids the same way. You have to love them individually, predicated upon the love that they need, the type of love. So you might have one kid who think like you, but you might have one kid think like me. So if you treat them both the same, you still will get two different results. You can't be hard. Everyone doesn't learn the same way. So disciplining every kid the same way is not going to work.
You're
Some
right.
kids learn more from taking things away from them than they would from a physical hit. You have to
Right.
be able to identify that, and that's your job as a parent. is to identify the way your child learns. That's your job. I'm not a book learner. I can read a book. I have to apply it to learn. I can read everything out the book. I can retain the knowledge, but it just don't work for me until I apply it. That's why I did what I did with the religions. I had to live it to understand it.
Hey,
It wasn't good
Juju,
enough just to read it.
Juju, let me tell you, hey, on some real Juju, that happened to me in the 7th grade. I couldn't do nothing. For the whole 8 weeks, the whole semester, I couldn't do nothing except what you said. No TV, no going outside, do your homework, wash the dishes, take a bath, and go to bed. That was a wrap for 8 weeks, bro. And check this out, what happened. I was a straight A honor roll. I was a straight A honor roll school valedictorian, most likely to succeed and all that.
Hey, appreciate you, official one SP. Hey, James, do me a favor. Throw that link in the chat for me. Appreciate you coming through. But yeah, and that's why I say like these conversations, because like I said, some kids, the discipline will work. You can put the fear of God.
It worked for me.
Me, it just made me angry. It turned me into a hateful, vengeful kid. And like I said, my stepdad used to hit me, and I used to get so mad because I know I couldn't hurt him. I used to go outside, and I'd be crying. As soon as somebody says something, you crying? Bow, hit them right in the mouth, and I'm on top of them. That's how I was, bro. I'm just telling you.
I totally understand that. I respect that, man.
And so, but I agree. That's what I say. I agree and I disagree simultaneously because there needs to be consequences. And if you don't teach your kids that there's consequences behind actions, when they grow up, they're gonna have to learn the hard way. And this is why we locked up, and this is why we have so many funerals. Because it's not instilled in the home no more. Because a lot of times, and I'm not gonna bash nobody, there's no point. We know the circumstances, but a lot of times we have to have understanding though, because some of these people, single parents, they are good people, and they got to work a job, maybe two sometimes, and it's not, they don't have that time to instill a lot of things that was instilled in us.
Right.
Because they just trying to keep the lights on. They trying to keep the water on. They trying to keep the heat in the house. So, they out of the home a lot of times. So I don't like the stigmas, that single parents can't, or they're not doing when they trying their best. I see it. It's just unfortunate the situation that they're in.
Kalani, that time out don't work.
Right. Hey, cause I'm not like the big, cause I got girls, right? My daughters, and they're 24 and 25 now, but I was the taker. Like their mother was the disciplinarian as far as like, she's the one that whoop them, right? But me, I'll take your shit. I'll take everything. I'll take it. I was the take shit person parent. Like I'm taking your toys, I'm taking your everything. But I won't whoop you. Hey, salute to you, Val, by the way. Salute.
Thank you.
Yeah, so Val, what you think? We done switched the subject, but this is a good subject too, because I think this is one of the things that's plaguing all people. We can say community, but it affects all people because our youth now, they don't understand consequences until it's too late. And instead of having that whooping, now it's jail or even death sometimes, those are the consequences behind actions.
Yeah, the prison population is exploding. A lot of males in jail. Uh, the melanated is enslaved. So I can't say it's all from the upbringing though. I mean, some of it got to be from just bad choices. But uh, they have a lot to do with it. That definitely
We
has a
don't
lot
get
to do.
snatched no more. We don't get snatched up no more. You know what I'm saying? You could just do whatever, say whatever, and it's all good. Nobody's gonna put their hands on you like when we was growing up, man.
Yeah, see, so a lot of us, and what am I like? I'm 40, so I guess I'm what Gen Gen Z, or I don't know what I am, millennium, whatever. When I was coming up, it was a different story. The community raised you. You didn't speak the
Right,
same touch, your ass was getting beat. Excuse my language,
right.
y'all. I know I'm not supposed to, but you was gonna get that, and
Get it.
yeah, yeah. So the people raised us, the village raised us. But nowadays, a lot of us just like me. I wouldn't dare go and grab up a group of young men or a young girls. Man, please, for my eye to be busted, I don't think so.
Now watch this magic. I'm about to incorporate what we're talking about to the subject because um, we're talking about survival mode and living mode. So you could even say the village, raising the kid, that was more of a living mode. We was thinking of the long game. We trusted one another. We respected one another, to do right by
Right,
one another, even the kids. But now
right.
we're in survival mode. Like I asked Kalani earlier, how many of us actually sit down with our neighbors and talk to them and have conversation?
I heard you
Um,
say that the word nobody don't. I mean, people don't know their neighbors now. Like I was listening to this one guy. He was saying that cause he's from here where I'm from, New Orleans or whatever. So in this place, when you growing up, or you coming up, it's community minded. So you know the neighbors, you know this person, you know their person, you know the head chief, the who's this, the that, and everything like that. He said he moved to New York City. He lived in an apartment, didn't know no neighbors at all.
Mm, mm.
hmm and that's how it was with me moving here. Like when I moved to Michigan, like my uncle kind of ran the neighborhood, so we knew everybody. But when I moved out of that neighborhood, we didn't know everybody. So we start, meeting everybody. But when I was a kid, we knew all our neighbors. But as I started growing up, people started getting old, moving out, new people moving in, and we didn't know them no more. So it wasn't that community vibe no more. And that was
Mhm.
probably like the going out of the '90s into the 2000s. I say where I observed that change, where the village start turning into a community. And if you look up those two words, a community is where people come together and do things together. A village is like-minded people coming together um, to live, basically. Paraphrasing. Um, So those two words are totally different. A community, anything can be a community. It's just people coming together doing similar things. It's not like minded though. You can come together and go to and watch the fireworks. But guess what? When you leave, you're going back to your own individual homes. You know. Um,
Yeah.
so
Well, the street that I grew up on coming up, I swear, all those old ladies and the old men, they had the same, everybody had that same mentality. So I guess it was easy for them to, like, grab one of us by the neck or whatever. And we better not say nothing. You knew not to say nothing back to them. But,
Right.
exactly. So, I just, when I think about that and I think back on it or whatever, I think about how those people all had the same mentality.
Man,
and
for real. I
it was
totally agree. I think I see it kind of like that, where like I don't see it as a abuse, I just kind of see it like you got to get right. You either going it was consequences, immediate consequences in school, at home, in the
Hmm.
neighborhood, on the street. There was consequences immediately for messing up. But now you could just do anything, say anything. You could fight with your teachers, fight with your parents. You ain't got to worry. And it's crazy to me.
When did that start?
In the
It's like,
90s, after
Yeah.
after the crack epidemic, people started feeling so guilty. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. A lot of people letting their kids go. You right? Yeah, that had a lot to do with it. That did destroy a community. It did.
I mean, that was used to destroy a community and it ended up destroying a society.
It
You
took
know,
the discipline
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
It took the discipline out the house because the parents is feeling bad because they're smoking crack. You know what I'm saying? And the kids is all going, crazy, and they ain't got enough money, and they're spending all the money on drugs, and so now when they got older, it's kind of like guilt.
Yeah. Yep. But so as I go back,
oh, hold on, James ain't got a wrench. James
Not
ain't got a
yet,
wrench.
not
Oh,
yet.
my bad, James. I
Hey,
be
what's up,
tripping,
Perp? I hope your
perping
migraine
out.
feels better, Perp.
Oh, my
hey,
bad,
Herb,
James. I thought you had a wrench, bro. Hold on, I got you, brother.
She say that migraine is kicking her arse. Is that what she said? Arse?
Eris.
Arse. Hey, Perp.
My bad, James, bro. I swear I thought that. My bad. I'm tripping. James got a wrench everywhere he go.
Mm-hmm.
James, we're gonna change your name to Mr. Wrench.
James the wrench.
Yeah, my bad, James. I swear I thought I gave you one. But yeah, I mean, it is the dynamics change. So you know, like I said,
I can't
what
believe
affect?
what these kids are getting away with in school. I can't believe what they're getting away with in the neighborhood. I cannot, man. Because when I grew up,
yeah,
man, I would have been snatched up, bro, quickly.
and you better not. And see, here's the thing. What I keep trying to emphasize, I would go talk to them, but you think they're gonna get away with punching me in my eye or doing? I'm not doing none of that. It's like forget them now because it's like they too difficult to approach. Like being able to get away with so much that made them like really hardened. So now you
Fact,
can't talk to them. You can't say
fact,
anything. They are
fact.
running the world.
Right.
No,
And
thank
now
you,
they got
James.
the privilege. Now they got the ability to call the police on you. I'm like, oh man, I couldn't even conceptualize calling the police on my family.
My mama told me if I call the police, call the ambulance because I'm gonna need them first.
Telling you, bro.
The hell is that? Man,
They
I got
cussed it.
toys everywhere around this house, bro. I'm sitting at the kitchen table. I put stretch my legs out, and I got my foot in the damn wheelbarrow.
I wish you could take a picture of that.
Oh man, I'm like, what the hell is this? The damn toy
Hey,
wheelbarrow.
How you made it out there in Oakland though, really? Because
what's that?
Oakland, that's from what I hear, that's a city where man, y'all Oakland strong. You hear me? You gotta be, you gotta
It's
be strong.
easy out here. Actually, it's easy out here if you like mind your business. I mean, it's just like any other place. You know what I'm saying? You mind your business. Stay to yourself. Take care of you and your family, and stay out of the mix. You be all right.
Be all right.
Anywhere in the Bay, whether it be San Jose, Oakland, or San Francisco, it's cool out here. Because
Okay.
it's really about getting paper. I mean, out here it's really about making money and surviving because the price of everything out here is sky high. How much is it for gas and eggs and stuff out there where you at in New Orleans?
So the gas, we up to what? Let's just say up because it keep going up and don't go down. We up to like maybe $2.50 a gallon.
Okay,
Oh, that's good.
we're that's good. We're at 485.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
had like 350, 360, somewhere around there.
We damn near $5, and then
Oh,
the eggs, and the bacon and stuff like that, and the milk and stuff, man, it's so high.
I don't, man. I'd be out, bro. Fuck that. Hey, Juju. You know what? It's like walking around my house, I feel like I'm in that Home Alone movie. The first one when he had, I be slipping on damn Hot Wheel cars. I got a gash in my foot for stepping on a Hot Wheel
Oh
car.
wow.
Oh
Like my
man, be
son be
careful.
having, yeah, my son, boy, he got so many like I literally had my godson, um, come over here, just like take whatever you want. I don't even care. I would just get some of this shit out the house. Man, he got so many toys, and I'm just adding. I'm about to buy him a swing set for the backyard. Um, yeah,
Oh, that's nice.
he's spoiled.
Who
His
spoiled him?
whole, me and his mother. Mainly me. I spoil everybody in the house. Everybody get whatever they. I'm Santa Claus every day. I
Yeah,
don't
me
wait till
too. I
I'm
was
out.
Santa Claus. Yeah, I'm Santa Claus.
You know what? It's
I'll take some shit. Hey, I'll be Santa Claus. I'll take everything. I'm not whooping my girls. I'm just not. I'm sorry. I just can't do it. Right? But I'll take ask them. I'll take everything you got.
I
But
think
I
that's
won't.
wonderful. The love that you got for your daughters, Kalani.
What's that?
I said I think that's wonderful. The love that you got for your daughters. You know, that's.
But I should. But my mom and dad be like, man, you should whoop them kids like we whooped you.
So
Oh, that's what they say.
hold on. We gotta go back now because you talking about disciplining everybody else, but you don't discipline.
Nope, exactly right. Because they be
Y'all
looking at me
kids
with
need to
them.
be
They
whooped,
be
not
looking at
mine.
them. They be looking at me with them big, beautiful, wonderful brown eyes that I have that I made, and I'm like, oh.
He can't do it.
Then I remember my grandma, my granddad, my mom, my dad. I'm like, oh, I can't even do it. But I'll take your shit. Give me that iPhone. Give me that. Give me that. Give me.
But that still go back to the title though. Even talking about how discipline it. You can look at it from the survival mode. A lot of people feel like physical discipline will teach them right away. But like I said, you have to put a positive reinforcement behind anything that you do, especially when it's something negative like striking a kid or hitting a kid. You have to put a positive reinforcement. And like I said, when my grandma whooped me, she explained to me why she did what she did. She set me down. Like, look, I just told you up because of this. And guess what? If anybody else would have seen you do this, it's a possibility you go to jail. So you can't do this. It's bad. It's not right. And that gave me understanding. She just didn't say don't do it. She explained to me why. That's why I never stole. When I was younger, I took an apple from my aunt's house. My grandma beat the crap out of me because I didn't ask for it. And she told me why. You took something without asking. If anybody else would have caught you, you could have lost your life.
Yeah.
And now today, it's you shouldn't have took the apple. Go stand in the corner, and you can't watch TV for the rest of the night. Like, man, wait a minute. You feel me? Like, man, that wasn't how we was raised. Take an
But
apple, you're gonna get the beat. You're gonna get beat.
Well, see, the discipline where I come from or whatever, my great grandmother raised me, so she was a disciplinarian. I stayed out her way because I already knew how she was. So I stayed out of the way because I knew how she was. But she used to give us the stories of how, because of the way she came up, sharecropping family or whatever, and that's tied to slavery. So the discipline that they handed down, they didn't want you to go somewhere and take an apple, because if somebody caught you doing that, it could cost you your life. So your grandmother, I understand where she was coming from with that, the word, because the way it was with us, it's like we was always being checked for any little thing, because people was getting in trouble for the smallest things, So the smallest of things you could have went to jail. The smallest of things you could have, anything could have lost your life or whatever. You could have
Hmm.
lost your life for whistling at somebody that's the wrong, color or whatever. So it was the discipline in the South is something different. Let's just put it that way.
And she was from Americus, Georgia. So yeah, she was from the South, so
Uh huh.
she grew up the same way, sharecropping family. Her mother was a slave that got freed. Um,
Yeah. So that
so
was
hearing
pure
hearing those
survival
stories,
mode.
yeah, that you see what I'm saying,
I
and that's
see.
how she raised us. And see, that's what I say is passed down through generation through generation. Of this is how you survive. This is how you live. But at some point, I had to. Well, my mother was the change. Because I think my mother was the first person to show me how to live and not how to survive. I don't think my mother ever was in survival mode. I think my mother always planned for the future, but I was raised by my grandmother until I was 9. So it was a lot of the deprogramming. Because like even this, like, black people are very resourceful. Before we go out and buy something, we make it our damn self. If something broke, we use duct tape and bubble gum to fix it before we go buy a new one. And
Right.
that's part of survival mode because we didn't have the resources um, to put towards things, so we just had to make it do what it do. And now, and even a lot of times, I catch myself. Uh, like, okay, I just fix it, and I look like, let me just go get a new one. Fuck it, because I'm gonna have to fix it again and fix it again and fix it again. Just go buy a new one. I can afford it now. It'll last longer. It's made better now. So it's just the way I had to start deprogramming myself from a lot of those old thoughts. You know, um, but even the way I was raised to survive, not to live, until I got with my mother, and then my mother uh, started, showing me, leading by example, showing me how to live. She went to school, she never took anything anybody gave her. She always worked for whatever she had. Um, she had never accepted a hand me out. I remember even at her job, um, they was about to give her a promotion and they told her that they needed a black woman. She turned it down.
Mm.
When she was gonna take it, like, okay, I worked for it, but when they said we need this, she was like, hold on, nah, that's why you giving me the job, not because you felt I earned it, not because
Mm.
of the work I put in, but because you feel that I am this black woman who you can give this job to and will do what you say. No, I'm gonna take the job and make it do what it do.
They
And
were trying to fill a quota or something.
yeah,
Hey, excuse me, real quick. I just want to tap in. One love to you, streets in Scotland. One
streets in
love,
the house.
man, streets in the house. I'm gonna drop down, man, and I really appreciate you, Miss Val. Peace and blessings, my man. The
All right,
word,
so
peace and blessings, man. One love to you, man. Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. You're always welcome. Yeah, but that was and when she told me that story, I'm like, 'cause I'm like, why you ain't take the job? Oh, and they wanted a black woman. Like, what? Okay, do you a black? No, no, no. They wanted someone like a yes woman. She said, I'm gonna take the job because I want to make a positive effect
yeah,
at the
they
job.
only didn't see the value there. They just taking her because that's somebody that they needed. They needed a black woman. I don't know. She probably was, like you said, she did the work. She was the most qualified, but it was just quota filling.
Yeah, and they do that a lot, especially in a hospital. My bad, I'm all choked up. I'm smoking this white agave, this oil pan. Whew. Okay. But that's how it be. And when you notice that, some people take that job, and Now you open yourself up to being manipulated.
Mm.
Um, I had opportunities. Like I said, I turned down so many opportunities because what the opportunity came with, it wasn't worth it to me. I'm not selling nobody out. I'm not taking this to uh, appease no quota. I'm straight. I ain't about to do none of that.
How was the
Like
hospital?
you said, how was the hospital?
Yeah.
You know what? What I did, I was a anesthesia assistant. So what
Oh
I
wow.
actually did was like I didn't put the people to sleep, but I assist like a patient care tech, assist the
Yeah.
nurses and the doctors. I assisted the anesthesiologist and nurse anesthetist. But instead of hands on with I did hands on with patients, but it was more with the drugs. I had to get the drugs ready, get the equipment. I had to learn how to use the equipment. What like each drug had 2 to 3 names. I had to learn all the drugs. So it was different. And then I had to be. I wouldn't get like before I got there. The techs wasn't CPR certified, but where I came from, I was. So like when they called codes, I go to the code and help with the CPR, get in the rotation. But I was good at it. Like out of 37 patients, I performed CPR on 35 lived. Um,
Oh
so
wow.
I even had to do compressions on the heart. They cut the guy got shot in his shirt. I'm sorry, I'm choking up. Guy got shot in the heart, and they had to crack his chest open, and I had to squeeze his heart manually to keep it beating until they
Mm.
sewed him up. Sewed his aorta up. So, um, yeah, we got him back. That was dope. But it was a great experience, honestly. It came with a lot of different opportunities to uh, learn and analyze different type of people. Um, and I say that because that's where I really understood the depths of racism and understood the difference of races. And it was a white guy who told me that being racist ain't bad. And he explained to me the suffix of racist, the ist, is just being proficient. So he said I should want to be racist to learn who I am. And
Mm.
this what kind of drove me to understand who I am and where I come from. Was this white man who told me to be racist. He said to be racist is to understand you, understand your people. It's not bad. Stop letting them tell you. This is why I got into uh, what they may say etymology or anthropology, the study of words. So when he told me that, he said the racism, that's a system that's created to hold you down and people who look like you down. And he began to teach me how to navigate through the racist system. He is the one who exposed me to Dr. Neely Fuller. It was a white man who did all this. Man, this dude is still cool. He's one of my mentors. But he explained to me the system of racism and how I've been going through it and how Europeans go through it and how they become indoctrinated and how we become indoctrinated, how we become conditioned.
So what kind of racism do they deal with being European?
The average European does not benefit from racism. And I'm going to tell you why. Um, because it's not created for them. If a person is being called white, that's just like them calling us the N word, to be honest with you. And I'm telling you this is how educated Europeans look at it. If people accept the term white, they're worse than an N word. This is what he told me.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
yeah, and this is why. Now let me tell you this. This is the whole. It's not about race. It's about class. You know, think about it. It's poor white people. It's white people living on the street.
Mm-hmm.
So if it was really about race, these white people wouldn't be on the street. What do they call them? Trash. They don't call black people trash. They call um, white people trash. Think about the ideology, the concept of trash compared to nigga, ignorant person. Now
You're
you're
right.
calling this person garbage. So which one is actually worse? They look at
hmm
they look at as far as the class system, a white person who has not took advantage of their skin is worse than anything. This is a white man telling me that. And he said because it's not the fact that you have a privilege of being white, that you get a benefit of the doubt. Meaning, when a white person and a black person is when you take a white person and a black person, you get the benefit of the doubt as a white person to be able to do more because of your skin color. But it's still up to you to take advantage of that. And if you don't, then you're trash. You're worthless.
Oh wow.
This is a white man telling me this.
Yeah, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
That's deep.
A
That's
highly
very
educated white man. I'm telling you, this
yeah.
dude
You
is.
can tell
Uh,
you said that's
I'm
Dr.
talking.
Neely Fuller?
No, this is he exposed me to Dr. Neely Fuller,
Oh,
but I'm
okay.
telling you that this was a surgeon, from Europe. He was born in
Oh, wow.
Europe, and his family was Scottish Rites. He didn't join, but his family was his brothers, his dad, his granddad. He decided to be a doctor, and he didn't want to, because it's deeper than what you think when it comes to um, like culture. Like they were told what they had to do. He was supposed to be a lawyer, not a doctor. He was supposed to go to law school. Because this is I be trying to tell y'all stuff and y'all don't listen. And I only know the stuff because people told me. People exposed me to it.
Right.
Now listen to what I'm telling you. And y'all gonna get me assassinated, bro. But this is what he told me. He said, "Now these are Freemasons. His family is in Freemasonry, but they they tell their kids or groom their kids to go in certain positions of power. He was supposed to be a lawyer, not a doctor, because eventually he was born in Europe, but from his birth he was destined to come to America, and he was
Okay.
supposed to come here as a lawyer so he can get into politics." And that was designed. He never joined the Freemason. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They groomed
They groomed him, yeah, to do those things. Wow.
to put him in position of power. We don't do that. We groom our kids to be entertainers, rappers, singers, ball players. That's what we groom our kids to. These other cultures, they're grooming their children to take positions of power.
Yeah, well, I always say that's why I think I like Chinese culture, but when I um when I was growing up, you would hear of Chinese kids that were not making the grade or whatever. I would hear about them like jumping out of windows and doing things like trying to commit suicide or whatever. And all of this was supposed to be a result of how they were groomed. Like you said, they were groomed to do certain things. Like they're expected to be this or they're expected to be that. And some of them, they, from what I'm hearing, couldn't take it. And so, some, I'm talking about one case, but from this case that I'm talking about, the kid ended up committing suicide because he had so much pressure on him
Hmm.
to be a certain type of way and be in a certain type of lifestyle.
And I could be honest with you, I heard a lot of stories like that, not just from Asians, but like I said, working in the hospital, um, it was a lot of the doctors' kids committing suicide because they wasn't living up to what they were being groomed to be. You
Yeah,
know,
so
a lot of them got on drugs. So, but what I'm telling you is, these people that we get as head of state, these people that we get a lot of the people that we even get on TV, they being groomed for those positions. Even people are selected who is going to represent. Like if you notice, a lot of the like Miley Cyrus, Britney Spears, a lot of them was on the Disney Channel before they became megastars. They were being groomed.
Yeah, they
They show
were.
you the process right there. It's a process. A lot of these movie stars, they was groomed for those positions. Um, you can look at the way they elevating certain people and the way they marketing certain people right now. Um, they're grooming them. They're being groomed. Stars and celebrity, anybody they put in your face um, has been groomed to be put in your face. Very
Yeah,
rarely I'm not gonna say we don't get people who become stars or influential people. I'm not saying that because it happens, but you can tell the difference between someone who's groomed and someone who found a wave and caught it.
yeah. Well, I wish it was a lot of more grooming coming up in the neighborhood that I was growing up in. We would be, a good tight community. We could take care of our community now because as I go back and look at it and see what it is, the way it is now, it's simply destroyed. And all those people that I just spoke on, they kept that up. They kept their houses up. They kept the yard up. They kept a lot of things. Just made it a nice environment for us to be in. But when I go back home and I look at it, I'm like, man, this place has went down. It has really went down. None of the
And I,
houses that the old people own, they're not there anymore, or they're gone. It's just bad. It's just not the same thing that it was when I was coming up. So
and you know what? I appreciate you saying that because you know what grooming is intention. That's all it is. It's playing the long game. It's
yeah,
living.
it is
It's
actually.
setting yourself up for success. Not only you, but your people, your lineage, your house. You know,
Yeah,
you're setting it up so that we need to start grooming our children to become influence, to have great influence. And I'm not talking about no celebrity. I'm talking about judges, um,
lawyers,
president.
doctors, teachers.
Yeah, people who have uh, owners of Fortune 500 companies. That's what we should be. That's the only way. Like people want to keep asking for things, right? We want to ask for things from our government, from our school systems. We keep asking, how did they gain the power that they gain? How do you gain that? Okay, if you ask somebody, like if you ask me for $1, right, and you know I'm gonna give it to you. When you ask, you understand that I'm gonna give it to you because we have a bond and connection. You know I'm gonna help you. So if we go ask people stuff, why don't we make sure we have that bond, that connection, that reflection? That's what we need. That's what everybody else do. That's what they do.
Yeah,
Literally, they are in power because they groom people to take those positions. Flat and simple.
yeah,
Even if you feel they were given the position, they still got it. So how do you get power? If you can't take it, you have to. I'm not going to use the term infiltrate. Um, if
yeah. It gotta
you
be a
go,
level of saturation. You gotta, like you say, you cannot take it. It's not nothing you can do. So you gotta kind of sneaky. I don't want to say be sneaky, but it's got to be a way. You have to slide on in there, and
now, now,
grooming our generation is the only way.
now let me ask you this, because I was going to use the word infiltrate, but like you said, it's not being. These positions are acquirable. You see what I'm saying? That you have to run for them. So they are acquirable. So are we really being sneaky, or are we just putting people who understand our needs and our wants in position to help us get what we need and what we want? Everybody else do it, so why can't we?
Yeah. That's a question there.
But see, that goes back to living. You see what I'm saying? Versus surviving. You ain't thinking like that surviving. You just trying to get through the day. But when you begin to live, you got to understand it takes time for a seed to grow. And it takes even more time for that seed to become a tree. And
Yeah.
a tree that's not only grown, but sturdy enough to bear weight. That's what we need to get. We need trees. And it takes time. But we ain't planting them, because we trying to go get a piece of another tree instead of growing our own.
But if I'm growing my tree, but what if my neighbor down the street don't want to grow their tree? You understand what I'm saying? They don't want to grow their tree. The ones down the street don't want to grow. So what can you do? Because you are trying to stand strong and grow your tree, and hopefully the branches from your tree and the fruit from your tree can only go so far. But wouldn't it be nice to have more than one tree?
Yeah. And Les, I like what you said too. Intellectually honest with oneself. You completely right. But are we not doing it anyway? You know, even putting your child in a public school system. Are they not being influenced by people? The child always will be influenced. What I'm saying is have intentions behind the influence. Not just say, not going to the extreme, like some cultures do, saying at birth you're going to be this or be that, but having them exposed to all those different things and allowing them to choose, you know, because a lot of times, like in the black community, it's either you good at sports, you good at rapping, you good at trapping, you good. I mean, those are the only. Sometimes those are the only options available. It's not. I didn't know about a nurse anesthetist, an anesthesiologist. I didn't know um, the different pursuits of doctors. I thought a doctor was a doctor. You know, um, but when I started learning, like, oh, the different specialties and I'm like, if I was exposed to this when I was younger, I would have wanted to be a doctor.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I
Like if I
understand.
know all these different types of doctors, um, so I'm just saying have intention on you influencing your children because they gonna be influenced one way or another. So why don't you be intentional with the influence?
Yeah.
Yeah, just be intentional with it. I mean, expose them. Let them know you can be a president of the United States. We've seen the melanated man as president. So guess what? And guess what? If we back him, they ain't got no choice. You
Yeah,
know.
we backed it. We backed him. We backed him. And I don't know when another one is coming up, or my son is named after the president of the United States. That's just how proud I was. And
Mhm.
I did that to give him a sense of pride, for him to know that, hey, you can you can do this. You can be something. You don't have to be, what you see or what you see around you. But I understand that the outside influence is something. When I was coming up, outside influences did a lot. They kind of, I didn't get too far off the beaten path, but it was something. It definitely was something, trying to maneuver your way through that. Surviving childhood, like we talking about surviving mode. Surviving
Mhm.
childhood was not. It was not nothing nice on my end.
And that's what I'm saying. Like now, um, my children. Now that I understand the difference my kids will learn survival mode. It won't be something that they have to constantly endure like I did. So I'm gonna allow my kids to live. So, but like I said, like even my son now, we look at the stars. He don't understand, but I'm showing him constellations. I'm putting it in the subconscious now. So later on, when he recall and he see it again, he be like, "Oh shit, my dad was telling me about that." You know what I'm saying? So I'm
Yeah.
putting a lot of that in him now because I can recall things from when I was two. I be telling my mama, she like, "Man, you was 2 years old." I'm like, "What?" And they tell you can't do this, but you can. You can. I didn't relive. I done told my mom some stuff when I was 1 years old, and I remember it vividly now. I went into the meditation.
Oh wow.
Like people, I'm telling you, it's so much. We're capable of so much, but we just unaware. And then even when you become aware, they done indoctrinated you to the idea a lot of this stuff is magic or superficial, like imaginary, like all this stuff ain't. No, it is spells, words. Words are spells. Like when they talk about witches casting spells, yeah, and look at the intention and the sacrifice. These they tell you everything you need to do to actively cast a spell. You need to have intention. You need to have sacrifice. What are you willing to sacrifice? They sacrifice animals and blood. That's you don't need a physical sacrifice. You have to sacrifice your old ideologies. You
Mm,
have to sacrifice not believing in yourself. If you want to reach nirvana, if you want to contact the creator God, you have to sacrifice belief and go no. You have to know.
mm,
I don't believe in anything. I have to know. There's no purpose in belief. Belief is 50-50. It's still doubt inside belief. But
yeah.
it takes time. And what I needed for me to not believe in nothing and to know, I needed to know. So I had to go figure it out. That's why I say I practice all the spiritual beliefs. I practice all the religions, not read about them, not become knowledgeable about them. No, I practiced it. I had to see how it worked.
Yeah.
And, and once I did that, I didn't have to believe in nothing. I was doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. You
And
practice.
you know, one of the biggest sacrifices I made is people thinking I'm crazy, people thinking, caring about what others thought about me.
Ooh, don't get me started on that.
Like that is a sacrifice, believe it or not. I mean, you have to sacrifice. You have to sacrifice all these things that they tell you is important, like clout. Like when we was talking about that, attention. Look, I'm grateful for everything because I don't expect nothing. You
Mm,
see how that works? So if someone does something for me, it's greater appreciation because I don't expect them to do it.
yeah. I get what you're
But
saying.
by expecting, and when it doesn't happen, guess what? You get disappointed. So when something doesn't happen, guess what happens with me? It don't bother me. I keep it moving.
Well, listen to what you just said. The word. Don't you think more relationships would work better if you didn't expect a
That's
lot
how
of
me and
things?
my look. That's how me and my wife work. I don't expect my wife to do nothing. My wife, look. If my wife go cheat on me tomorrow, guess what? I enjoyed our time together. You know,
Yeah.
I thank you for the experience, and I move on. And I move on. You know, I don't expect nothing. So everything she do, I am grateful for.
Wow.
You know, I don't, but that frees me too. I don't worry about my wife cheating on me. I don't worry about it. Why?
Yeah.
Well, I think about it. If it happened, it happened. I can't do nothing about it. And do I want to do something about it? Like these are the questions. Like, look, if somebody go cheat on you, right? They go cheat on you. And what you gonna try to convince this person not to cheat on you? No, they not for you. Either you for me or not. That's it.
Yeah.
It's no question. Either you gonna do right by me, or I'm gonna get away from you. And I
Hmm.
had to go through a lot of shit to understand that. I'm not about to. I don't care if a woman cheat on me. I'm not about to put my hands on nobody. I ain't about to. Nah, I'm straight. You ain't for me. Simple as
Yeah.
that. It's a billion people on this planet. One of them, you're not for me. Oh well, let's keep it moving.
Well, you got a good way of looking at it. Definitely. Yep. And how long you been married?
Me, since 2018.
Okay.
Yep, 2018. I've been with her since 2012, though. Um, yeah, and like I said, we work because is we complement one another first of all, and then it's no expectations. We give each other
So,
100%. And if she don't, then I know something wrong. If I don't get what I need from her, I know something wrong, and it's my job to help her understand. If she don't, it's just simple. I mean, like we make things so complicated. Nike got that slogan: "Just do it. Just do what's right for you, and find the people that's gonna do right by you." That's it. Everybody else don't matter. Like we talk about this black community, right?
yep.
We need everybody to come together and get together. I'm gonna be honest with you. That ain't gonna never work because all black people ain't the same.
Well, see, that's what what I was saying about grooming your yard, your tree, your whatever. Everybody just not gonna do that.
Oh, see, I love less. I love less. Do I believe in a higher power? Yeah, I know. I don't have to believe. I know there's a higher power. Is within all of us. Um, Not only is within all of us, it's within everything. Plants, animals, the wind, the air, the water. Um, the essence of the creator is within everything. The consciousness of the creator, and you can tap into that. That's why I hug trees. I tap into that vibration and that energy of a living creature. Um, so yeah, a higher power. Yeah, I rocks with the creator. That's why I use that term instead of God, because that's the only way I could define what I became aware of is the consciousness of creation. It's the most profound thing I ever felt in my life, um, and it's humbling because it creates with positivity and love and hate and destruction at the same time. It's a balance of everything. Um, and then just understanding things are because they are. And what we see today, even in society, is what we allow to manifest. Not understanding who we are, not understanding the gifts that we have, the power that we have. We allow um, a world to manifest that is not beneficial to us. But that's why we're here, is to correct it. And the only way we can correct it if we change the way we think. And part of that is understanding who we are. You are a part, an extension of the creator. God is within you. It's your job to allow God to come out of you.
What's some of the things you do to allow God to manifest, come out of you?
I had to, like, far as one is get rid of belief and know. You have to feel that presence within you. You know how people go to church and catch the Holy Ghost?
Yes.
Um, that's a oh, what up, though, Hustle? What up, Hustle? You all right, bro? You on mute, brother. We can't hear you.
I'm
Yeah,
doing
you on.
good. I'm doing good.
That's what's up. Appreciate you pulling up, fam. What's
All
up?
right. Not much. Just enjoying my milestone. I hit 160 subscribers. I'm doing a
That's
special tonight.
you doing a special tonight?
Yep, starting. Yep, I'm starting the radio show pretty soon, so I'm just gotta stay tuned for that. Starting a radio
Oh,
show
for
pretty
sure.
soon.
You know I'm gonna be there, brother. You know
It's
I'm
on
gonna be
you.
there. I rocks with you. You know I support you, man. I like what you're doing over there, man. I like what you're doing. I got to make sure your link is dropped so we can come over and support, brother.
All right.
Hello, Hustle. How are you?
I'm doing good.
So what you think, man? What you think about you believe in God?
Definitely. I mean, I listen to a lot of gospel music, and I said every day. I say something to my fans every single day. If you who doesn't, I said, you teacher doesn't believe in you, but I say God did. If you don't know what that reference from, I said that's DJ Khaled's album. They said, Hustle, where'd you get that from? I said DJ Khaled just said on his album, and I thought about that when I spoke to DJ Khaled live on Instagram. He said they didn't believe in us, and I said God did, and he just snapped said that's very good, and I make that as an album. So we both thought that, and it was so funny when we both said it. So
That's what's up.
I said my fans would say, you know what? Every day put God first, and every YouTuber say that now. Put God first, and God believes in you. So I definitely believe in God. My church has a YouTube channel, and I watch it every single Sunday. So yeah, my church has a YouTube channel and everything.
That's what's up. So let me ask you this: Do you think God works through us?
Yeah, he sure does. He definitely does.
And so, Val, that's my answer right there. We supposed to just do right by one another, help one another, do everything that we feel that God meant for us to do. You know, I feel like the Creator. I know. I'm not gonna say I feel. I know the Creator has sent us all here to expand creation, to add to creation, to make what was created even more desirable, even more favorable to us all.
Right.
And I think people understood that, or understand that, or have an overstanding of that. And once you have an overstanding of things, you're able to manipulate it to work for a specific group instead of benefiting everyone. You know, and that's what has happened. You know, that they have an overstanding of not only what we are, but what they are, what the whole dynamic is. And that information has been lost to us, but it was entrusted because what we are, think about this. Black people are some of the most forgiving people, right? Some of the most inviting people. But for some reason, we can't be like that towards one another, but we can be like that towards everybody else. Why is that?
It's messed up.
It is messed up. And my buddy Kevin Hart, he got into trouble for saying about Southern white supremacists. And my friend said, why can't I say he hates white people? And I said to him, he doesn't hate white people, he hates white supremacists. And Kevin Hart was going to go in Ghana, he canceled it. He said, Gerald, did I do the right thing? I said, yes. I would have done the same thing. Same for Chris Rock. I saw his stand-up special. He talked about the slap, and I was so proud of him. He got everything he wanted to say. Listener said, I'm offended what you said about me. I shook my head and said, wow, you're offended of what he just said? You just slapped him. We have the same disability. So you offended me when you offended Chris Rock. Wow. I'm going to cover that. Wait till I cover that.
No, I'm gonna check that out because I haven't seen the special.
Yeah, I didn't watch it either, Hustle.
It was live on Netflix. It was a live show.
It was a live show?
Yeah, first Netflix in history. It was a live event.
Oh
One
wow.
one of my fans who was there, he said my fans were there. Dave Chappelle, Cat Williams, Eddie Murphy, Cedric Entertainer, DC on Fly. Everybody was there supporting Chris Rock. I even watched it, and he said, "Thank you for supporting me." I said, "Dude, we have the same disability. Of course, I'm gonna support you." I was done watching his movies. I don't watch Medea movies. That's why I said in my videos, I was done watching his movies. Yeah, you need to see it. It was live. It was really funny.
And it's still on Netflix now, ain't it?
Yeah, it's still up.
It's still up.
So I'm gonna check that out. DL was there too. Dr. Dr. Down, that's what I'm gonna call you.
Cliff was there. Oh yeah, Dear Hughley from WDF.
Yeah,
Dear Hughley
DL
was
Hughley was
finally
there.
Dear Hughley, and Cliff was supporting him. Oh yeah, I think Lil Wayne went there to support him. So everybody supported him.
I mean, that's I
That's
think that
amazing.
whole incident was unfortunate.
It was. I feel bad for him. He has a
And
learning disability. I have a learning disability, so I got offended. And I looked and said, "Oh wow, me and Chris Rock has the same disability." For some reason, I did not say wow. But
see, even disability, I don't even like that term. I understand it.
I don't like it either. But you mean you can call besides a disability, you can call it something else besides that.
I mean, it can be like called a disadvantage or something.
Yeah, I mean that'd be better.
Yeah, because just because you lack in one area, like my nephew got autism, right? But the boy is a genius, with the editing and stuff. Like anything, he like his social skills are getting better, but anything that he focus on, especially electronics, I mean, the boy is a genius. Like I'm trying to get my sister to let him start a YouTube channel. Because like he was just showing me some editing videos he edited, and I'm looking like, bro, I can't even do that. Like him with technology, like the boy's a genius. So just because you lack in one area, don't mean you have a disability. It's just a disadvantage in one area.
You're not totally useless. Just because of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna volunteer at radio stations soon. I'm gonna volunteer like WTSC, Our Heart Radio. So my job coach can help me volunteer at radio stations that can help me start a broadcast. So I might work aside with Dear Hughley and be assistant at Our Heart Radio. I said I listen to iHeart Radio a lot, so that'd be good for me to. Hopefully, that get me a job at a radio station. That'd be good.
Bro, you rock that out, man.
Because my
You got me smiling over here.
That's good.
Hey, that's what I rock. Hey, you know what? I don't know how. One day I went on my phone and his channel popped up, and man, he was sitting in there talking. I'm like, this the vibe I got from him. I'm like, I like this dude. I'm gonna rock with him. I'm gonna support him. And I hope everybody else support Hustle too, because Hustle is a real good dude.
Shout out to Talents. Shout out to Talents is one I support as well, and supports Talents' niece. Talents' niece has a YouTube channel, and she's a really good dancer. She's a very good dancer.
Now, do you rock with Jared too?
I really don't, because I'm not usually up at the time. I'm usually out with my mom. But yeah, if his channel had popped up, yeah. But I'm usually busy taking out my dog and us moving pretty soon. I'm trying to push the videos. That's why I've been coming out with these random schedules. We're moving pretty soon.
Yeah, I seen you grinding. I'll be in there, brother.
Yeah,
I'll be in there.
Yeah, so we're gonna give me a house. It's gonna be under my name. I'm gonna have a bunch of designs. So red and white is gonna be Colts, because that's my football team in Indianapolis. Red and yellow, red and white is gonna be IU, and then blue and yellow is gonna be the Pacers, because I love the Pacers. I'm from Indianapolis, so those are my Teams.
So that's gonna be like your studio room. Did you do that too, or?
Yeah, it's gonna be like my sports room because I'm gonna start talking about sports on my channel. Because a lot of my fans say, Hustle, you should talk about sports. I said, when I move, I'm gonna get to that.
See, yeah, I can't wait. You know, I'm gonna tune in, Hustle. You know, I'm gonna tune in.
I
But yeah,
might
like,
need to do a video, show you guys my dog. One time, probably when I do a live stream, I might show you guys my dog. He's a
What kind of dog is he?
He's a black husky, and
Oh,
I'm gonna
wow.
tell you how you got him. He was a stray, so me and my sister fed him, and he never want to leave. So he's been in our house for about how many years of these? 10 years. My dad
oh
loves
wow,
him. My dad loves him. I love him. My mom. He's a guard dog, and he comes to my room. So every time, this is funny. Every time he hears your voice and I watch you guys like on my TV, he sits there and watch you. It's like, yeah,
the dog. Hey man,
my
hey.
dog, my dog watch you sometimes. And me and my dog will watch Medea movies. I might put on like Medea's like Final Play, and we watch Medea movies a lot. So yeah, his name is Kane. So he's a really nice dog.
That's dope, man. Your dog listen to me. I love animals, and believe it or not, I get along with the most vicious dogs. You can put a vicious dog around me, and man, that dog cool. It's just my energy. Lovey, what up?
I never heard this guy on TikTok, but he I think it was by Cat Dad, and he would do a video. His cat would talk to him. His cat say hello to him, and his cat say hello to me. But his cat's name, what's his cat's name again? His name is Stinky, and this cat is adorable. He goes by Cat Dad, and he does videos. Said, he asked me, "Are you a dog person or a cat person?" I said both. I literally just said both. I said, I can't pick one. I said both.
Hey Juju, I'm just changing your thing real quick. Okay, I know you looking. I had to change your. No, okay, yeah, I had to change your stick.
Well, I might live stream Mass Singer at this point tonight.
And see, but see, Val, this is what we doing in here. Is the work of the creator. You know, we come in here, we share information, we have good vibes. Even though some of the conversations, for some people, you know, when we talk about black issues, a lot of time, you know, we have, you know, our Australian sister Perp, you know, our white brother James in here.
Yeah.
And they don't get offended because they know we're not talking about them. You know,
Right.
that's why I talk about but that's why I thought it is important to understand
Do you know what
that
what this basketball player said? This basketball from the lawyer said Black history should be every day. I said, wow. It took a black basketball player to say that. He said, why would you say something like that? It should not be every day. I said, it should be. Karen Hart said the same thing. Dave Hughley said the same thing. I said the same thing. Phil Scott. Now, if you never check out Phil Scott, he is one of the greatest. He's one of the greatest black YouTuber broadcasts. I've been on his channel multiple times. He knows me. He knows my mom. And he'll bring you up. He'll call you he'll call you brother. He'll call you sister. You can call him uncle. And I call him uncle all the time. He likes that because he says, if I'm like uncle to y'all, yeah, he's a creator. He's the best black YouTuber. He's the news outlet. So you're going to do an interview with him. The best thing about him, if words you not like, he'll edit it out for you. And he's looking for more people.
I watch him those.
But Phil Scott is he's the bestest news outlet. Better than CNN, TMZ, and Fox. And he's on YouTube. His name is Phil Scott. I put on my main, if you go on my main channel, he's on there. Same for my boss Rob, Ryan, and I recommend checking out him out. But yeah, Phil Scott, yeah, he's better than other news. I watch him all the time. So
that's what's up.
He's looking for more people for filling him in, and he'll pay you amounts of money. He's taking his fans to Africa to look for houses for you to live there.
Yeah, he runs the African this I forgot how you gotta say that word.
He done.
I can't say it
Mhm.
network, but I know Phil Scott. I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
He
Juju,
gonna,
you
Diaspora. I'm sorry, African Diaspora New
yeah,
Channel.
he goes
Yeah.
by
yeah,
that
okay,
now.
yeah.
He goes
Oh
by that.
yeah, I watched that. But Juju, you're 100% right. I wouldn't accept no one to agree with 100% of anything that I say. Um, I enjoy the difference of opinions because it gives you the opportunity to have clarity um, in different subjects. But always, anyone is always welcome to join. All I ask is just be respectful to one another. Because if we having intentional conversations to fix situations that affect all of us, we have to be honest with one another in those conversations. And to do that, you got to be respectful. We got to be able to hear each other out. Like a lot of times, like when Kalani was up here, I agree with portions of what he said, and I disagree with other portions, and I offer a insight. And he either agreed or disagreed, but we didn't argue. We didn't call each other names. Just because we have differences of opinions don't mean we have to go to battle with one another. That's savage to me. And I believe, um,
What it
yeah,
is the
James,
word? You say that's savage? I like how you said that.
yeah, that's savage.
That's
That's
savage.
savagery. Thinking because you have a difference of opinion, now you got an attack on the person. That just shows me that you don't believe in what you're saying. If you got to insult me because we have a difference of opinion, then that's savagery. Like, it's okay. Your perception is predicated upon your experience that you had in life. Mine is predicated upon my experience. Two different experiences. Even though we've seen the same thing or experienced the same thing, now we got to talk about levels of emotional intelligence. How did you understand the situation that you went through? Predicated upon your emotions, you know. So what we will get into, is different levels of intelligence. It's not just the book smart. It's social intelligence, it's emotional intelligence, um, mechanical intelligence. So I mean, what levels are we going on? At the end of the day, if it's a problem, we have to solve it, and we all humans, right? We all have intellect. So why should we resort to savagery and attack one another?
Yeah, you'll see a lot of it on these streets.
Yeah, and trust me, me and Ryan deal with this all the time. We had the one fan when we went off on Will Smith. This kid got so offensive. What was about Will Smith? He was my favorite actor for Men in Black. I said, boy, you firstly, if you want to hate my own opinion, I said, get off this channel. If you watch me, get off the channel. That's all I said. He clicked off, and I shut him down. I said, get off my channel then. If you don't like what I want to say about Will Smith, I said, leave my channel. I blocked him. And that's one thing first guy told me. Block him. I just blocked him.
And see me, like
That's
I'm gonna be honest with you. I still like Will, but I respect your opinion because,
right.
and then guess what? I'm not about to argue with another man from what another man did. You know what I'm saying? Like people argue about politics. Like these people don't care about y'all. Can't call these people and have lunch with them,
Right.
but y'all fighting and arguing about who's right and who's wrong. Like these people don't even care. They don't think about you. But you're fighting someone who you can have an interaction with and possibly build with. Like
And
that's
then
crazy to me.
it is crazy. And then this YouTuber I was watching, he was upset that Jay-Z was over number one over Biggie Smalls. I'm like, yep, I'm at that as well. I'm like, what? You're putting Jay-Z number one over Biggie and Tupac? Tupac should be number one, and Biggie should be number two. Why Jay-Z was number one? Now I was upset about that. Jay-Z, Biggie, and Tupac had way more hits than Jay-Z did. Jay-Z should not be number one. That was mess. Those history number one rappers, they messed them up. Jay-Z should have been number 5, Eminem number 4, Jay-Z number 3, Tupac number 2, and Biggie at number 1. That would have been amazing. But Jay-Z number 1, no, absolutely not.
But see, now I'm gonna come from total left field because if you name a top 5, just me personally, I think this is one of the most disrespected artists of all time. I think LL, because of what he did, he was a pioneer. He not only did the battle rap, he not only made the jams, but he went into a different genre and started making love music. Like, he got as many hits as anybody you put on that in the top 5. And lyrically, there's not a lot of people who put together words like he did. He painted pictures with words. You can literally see.
So long, I think people don't forgot that he rap. He done crossed over and went to TV.
And I was looking at the list. I was looking at the list, and who's not on there? DMX was not on there. Even Coolio was not on there. I said, why's Coolio not on there? Coolio is one of the greatest rappers of all times, and DMX as well. You're not gonna put DMX and Coolio at the list? Now you
And then what about KRS-One?
He was not on there either.
You see what I'm saying? Like, KRS-One is one of the greatest. He still make records. And then, like, this mainstream, like I said, they put the people in front of you now.
They left out Young Jeezy. I was so mad. They left out Too Short. Kanye West should have been number 1. Because like my dad said, Kanye West has way more hits than anybody. And my dad loves Kanye West. We blast any of his music. We go out and cut grass. He listens to Kanye, and I do as well. I still love Kanye to this day.
And see, Juju, that's why. But look, I'm gonna tell you this though. Look, man, it's people built differently. I mean, this is what I'm telling you. Because honestly, if that was me, I probably wouldn't have did it on the award show, in front of everybody. But I would have had to snatch him up. Like, hold on, bro, what the hell? He probably would have got worse for me after the show. I'm just being real. I mean, I understand. But that's what I'm saying. I understand, like, the comedian and stuff, but you got to understand, even though here, when people roast, you know what I'm saying? When they say, oh, it's just roasting. Like, these are real people, and you don't know what people been through or what people going through, especially in that specific time. Like, we don't know what Will and Jada was going through at that time.
I do know what it went through. And what you just said, he just said that in his special. It was just a joke. He just said that. And I think here's what Will Smith did. I think Jada was effing his son's friend. That's what Will Smith went through. And he said, who does he hit? Me. I said, you hit something. I'm sure that Will Smith is taller than me. And he hits the shortest person. I said, wow, put that in a sentence.
Go ahead, my bad.
He said, I still have Summertime. He just said Will Smith's number 1 hit as a joke. And I actually had to play the song. I said, you just said one of my favorite songs, Will Smith, was Summertime, because that's one of the best summer anthems.
Summertime. Yeah, that was the jam. But see, that's what I'm saying. You know what happened? This is what happens. Like I said, we don't know what they was going through, right? We don't know. That could have been a straw that broke the camel back, and he just snapped. You know what I'm saying? And that's not me giving no excuse, for what he did. I'm not justifying it. I'm just saying facts. There's no point in me judging because I understand. And I understand there's too many variables to take into account and use my own personal perception to judge another man without understanding those variables. Like I said, they could have been going through something. He could have been ready to blow, and Chris gave him the opportunity.
The word she was losing her hair. That definitely that's something to go through as a woman. You hear me? Like, I'm sure as a man too, but.
And watching your wife suffer, you know what I'm saying? And then you don't know what, and then the whole August Alston, all that stuff. You don't, and then think about it. Will been taking criticism since he was, since he came out. First, he wasn't black enough. And now that he done showed his black card, he done smacked the shit out of the dude, showed his pimp and his gangsters. Now he too damn black. Like, which one is it? You know, that's a lot of pressure on somebody.
Do you know who thanked Will Smith? Michael Jackson's nephew said, "Thank you, Will Smith, for stopping Chris Rock." If he does not like Michael Jackson, that's his own opinion. You can't get mad at Chris Rock for not liking your own uncle. He does not have to like Michael Jackson. And see, this is what I don't like. Artists' sons get so upset we don't like artists. Chris Rock don't like Michael Jackson. Chris Tucker liked him. It was in his video. And I'm surprised Chris Tucker did not fend for his buddy. But this is, if Will Smith got so offended, why was he laughing? He was literally laughing at the joke.
But I tell you this too.
I don't get that.
I tell you this. Sometimes, to me, that was an uncomfortable laugh. You know, I think he was trying to laugh to so Jada would, honestly, when you watch it and just watch it with this perspective, because what an uncomfortable laugh is someone laughing at something, trying to take off the sting from it, you know. And I think he giggled or laughed like that because you can look at the way he did it and then looked at Jada. He was trying to laugh it off, hoping that she would, you know, find humor in it, but she didn't, you know. That's like follow my lead, you know. He was trying to make an uncomfortable situation comfortable for his wife. And when he seen her reaction, he reacted. So, I mean, but that's what it's cause and effect. If Chris, I mean, I understand you're a comedian, but if you never joked about her hair, you never would have got slapped. You got to look at that too. I mean, you can be funny without insulting people. And to me, that was an insult, you know.
It kind of was, but you know, he's Chris Rock and I'm not, that's what, who else got insulted? Oh yeah, Halle Bailey got insulted too for doing a song for Chris Brown because they did a song together. I offended for Chris Brown. I said, really? You are still bringing this up when he was 17? Do you guys got a better life? Chris Brown showed every white people that did horrible crimes. It was so funny. And they shut up. I said, you go, Chris Brown, because leave him alone. Rihanna forgave him. She promoted his songs for her makeup line. Rihanna forgave him. You can't forgive Chris Brown? I forgave him already. Poor Halle Berry. And like Halle Berry was to be The Little Mermaid, which I can't wait to see that movie. I'm seeing that movie. For Scott Stacey, I'm seeing the movie. I can't wait for the Little Mermaid to come out because it's gonna be fun.
The Little Mermaid.
Yep, they showed the trailer. Halle Berry's gonna be the Little Mermaid. I can't wait to see it.
And Juju said right, same thing I'm saying. It was just the wrong time he did it, but wasn't wrong for what he did. It just goes into what we was talking about the other day. Timing could be wrong, and you risk a lot. Exactly, you know.
Who else? You know what? I think Cat Williams said Cat Williams told me he smacked somebody for insulting his country, and he didn't get arrested. I said, "Wow, I'm surprised. You're not gonna arrest one of the greatest comedians of all times." I said, Cat Williams, what country were you in when you're not arrested? Africa. I said, oh, yep, okay, that sounds right. There you go. You're in Africa.
And Juju, you're right again. You know, and that's what I'm saying. That's why, like, even when I joke with people, I try to make sure I don't insult, you know, the person. And usually when I make a joke, I'm the butt of the joke. And that way, you know, if my intention is to make people laugh and smile, why not let me be the butt of the joke versus somebody else? That's just how I think, you know.
That's what me and Ryan do. We make jokes about our high school life, and I did have a high school life. If people don't know, I shared it multiple times. I got bullied. It was not by students, it was by teachers, and I shared it on my channel multiple times. People came out, said they went through it, and I shared it. It was like shocking for me. Now, I guess I can give you a story. So based on, I was wearing a suit. If you know the suit, if you watch Steve Harvey on Family Feud, you see the suit he wears all the time. So I used to have the suit. I wear it at high school, and the teacher's name is Lauren, said it was like ridiculous on me, and my mom was so upset. They lied. They lied to my face. They lied to my mom's face. Then Miss Lauren told all my friends to jump me, literally jump me.
Hmm.
This gets more worse. Then Noah threw a soccer ball at me, and then Miss S denies it. The gym teacher denies it was on video. So Miss
Oh
Ely got
wow,
fired. Miss Ely got fired for lying, and so did Miss S. And
that's
I
wild.
moved to a different classroom. This was at Warren Central High School, and I went through this. And I came out in my video, and people said they went through this all the time. This is why I'm done with high school, and I'm not going back.
That is
So
wild.
it was wild. I went through this. It was crazy.
That
And
is
then
crazy.
on the news, there was like a fight in the stadium. It was on top of me. The fight was on top of me. So I did the one thing. I had to push him off. It was security right there. I had to push him off. I had to flee. It was, yeah. So I'm not going back to that school no more. I'm done with Warren Central High School. That's me. It was terrifying. My mom was upset. My mom snapped.
See, that's crazy, man. I hate that you had to go through that. I had a teacher try to pay some kids to jump me, and then they came and told me and told the teacher, like, you know who his uncle is? Like, nah. But the teacher actually tried to pay some kids to jump me, and the kids came and told me.
Here's why. They didn't like me. Miss S didn't like me. Miss Lauren didn't like me. I mean, some of my friends liked me. Mr. Gaming liked me from the start. And I was lucky I moved to his room. And thank goodness I did. But yeah, they didn't like me at all. My mom can tell you how many times she went there. I went home to tell my mom she was mad. And I really not about to do it again, but about to. And I'm about to, I'm about to make a song about that, about my life, and not be crazy. But yeah, it was crazy. Ryan said he dealt with it. Phil Scott said as a child, he dealt with it all the time. So it's a wow. But yeah.
I'm not shocked because, like I said, even though these people have positions, they still human, and they still subjectable to the same things anybody else is. You know, they got the potential to be good or bad, and people abuse power all the time, and that's an authority figure. You know, a teacher. We see teachers taking advantage of kids sexually. So
And there
it's not.
was a news story on Inscrutable, and there was he was a black guy wearing dreads, and he was racial profile for no reason. His mom's in jail. Now he needs help of getting a Tony. So I'm gonna donate money so he can get a Tony. I'm about to help him. I'm gonna help because I was upset. So he says, I'm gonna say all my fans, if you have money, please go to Dr. Ritchie's channel, go to the link and donate money so this guy can get his mom out of jail and get a lawyer. Because that was wrong. For wearing dreadlocks, I'm gonna get dreadlocks this Sunday. I'm gonna change my hair to dreadlocks.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, my cousin's gonna do it. My mom already paid. My mom, I said, how much you gonna do? I said, I'm gonna charge you $20. I said, okay, that's a good deal to do it. But yeah, I'm gonna get dreadlocks.
I hate to end this show, but I just realized it's almost 4 in the morning.
Oh, jeez.
It's almost 4. I appreciate y'all coming out rocking with me.
All right, word.
All right.
All right, Val. All right, Hustle. Hey, Hustle, make sure. I think we got your link in the chat. I think they put it in there. But I appreciate you coming through, bro. Anytime, just let me know. Drop the link. If you don't see it, I'll drop it. You come up and rap with me, bro. I appreciate you.
I'll drop the link as well for you.
Appreciate it, brother. I'll be over there. All right, I appreciate y'all rocking with me tonight. And what I want to say, final about flipping a switch. Final thought on that. Survival mode is a mode that we do need at times, but it's not a mode that we're supposed to live in. You know, we have to switch over to living mode. We have to not only secure our present, but we got to secure our future. You know, we have to start doing things intentionally, not just to make it through the day, but for decades to come. You know, that's how we build. That's how we create generational wealth. That's how we solidify positions of power for the future. You know, so our needs and wants will be heard and will be recognized by the people who reflect the same ideologies as we do. You know, we got to start being more intentional with creating our future, because the present day we live in was created by our ancestors and our elders from the things they did, and from some of us. You know, it was the decisions we made and the choices. So understanding that, we have the power to make the right decisions and the right choices. What up, 22? We got the power now to make the right decisions and the right choices to make the future better. You know, I knew you would come on right when I was about to leave. I was about to hit your live earlier, but I had the babies. But yeah, I'm just shutting it down, bro. I didn't know I was rocking for 3 hours, but yeah. So just understand that we got to start living, and the difference between living and surviving is, one, we just trying to get through the day, which is surviving, and living, we creating not only a foundation, but we actually creating a home, the house for the future. So always care about how you feel, and do me a favor. If you ain't hit that like button already, hit that like. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe for me. It's free to you, but it means a lot to me, right? And if you're watching this video on replay, please go through the live chat and support some of the other content creators who come through and rock with us. It's all good, positive vibes. That's what we do over here. So the people links in the chat should represent that. So I appreciate it if you go support. It's free. You know, we talk about building, we talking about helping one another, and that's an easy way to do it. Just hit the subscribe and hit the like. But that's all I got. Y'all have a good one. If I can find the thing. Yeah. And y'all remember, Biracial did this.